What's going on? I am Nando.
And I am DJ.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details.
Woohoo!
I said we because Diggins isn't here again, but he'll be back next week.
We hope.
I assumes, yeah. You never know. Hopefully he will not... What happens in this movie that could happen to him? Hopefully he will not...
Turn into a giant sand monster?
Yeah, turn into a giant sand monster and then just leave. That's the problem. The end of 2 weeks ago, Diggins turned into a giant sand monster. We were like, oh, this is going to be good for the podcast. But then he just left. Never seen him since, you know? Hopefully we have a No Way Home situation where Diggins is transported back into our dimension. But that will probably be next week.
I hate to, already start talking about the movie, but this, bothered me so much. And just, a little quick tangent. What's the experiment they're doing? The sand experiment. They just seem to be, spinning sand. What is that?
How much sand can you spin? They have, they add in new sand every day to find the most sand.
And they're just how much can we...
How much sand is there to spin? And they found it's a lot.
Yeah, you can spin so much sand.
I don't even... do you think they even knew? They made a Sandman, or did Sandman start killing people and they all just looked at each other like, oh, it's probably related to this. Is it any of you guys? No? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's literally impossible that they knew.
Yeah.
So, sorry, just something I wanted to ask, because it was something I was thinking about. But,
yeah. We'll get to it. But
we'll get to it. I have other questions. But how are you, Nando?
I'm doing great, DJ. One of my favorite pieces of news in history just happened related to entertainment.
Hours before, so we should say we're recording this Thursday the 23rd in the evening.
Yep.
So a few hours ago, Nando texted me and was like, don't go on the internet. So I have no idea what's going on, what this is about, except that Nando was like, stay off the fucking internet, buddy. So,
yeah.
All right. I understand we have to play a
It's a guess. It's another one of my classic guessing games.
Ooh, I'm so bad at those.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to work from the bottom up, okay?
All right.
I'm going to give you more guesses as we get closer to the top because there's no way you're going to guess the couple first ones, but then eventually you may be able to guess them, and then you'll never be able to guess the main. Well, okay, yeah, that's all I'll do it. All right. So I've got a list of a bunch of characters in a movie that is set to be released on the 21st of December 2022, so next year.
Okay,
a couple days before Christmas. The movie is the Super Mario Brothers movie. We got the cast.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the voice cast for the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, so it's an animated movie. Okay,
it is an animated movie. That's right. It's by Illumination.
Oh my God,
from Minions and stuff.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
The Fast and Furious movie, Minions. I want to read you from the bottom up the characters, and you're gonna guess an actor to play them, okay? And then as time goes on, I'll give you more guesses. All right, so I'm gonna start from the bottom. First of all, the extra thing: Charles Martinet is confirmed to do something, but he's not playing Mario or any of the other. He's the guy that usually does the Mario voice. He's doing surprise cameos. Is what he's credited as. All right, Spike is going to be in this game. Any guesses?
Spike is the...
I don't even know. I think it's... Is it one of the
Koopas, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, Spike is... Oh, man. Nando, I hate this. Why have you done this to me?
Because
what have I done to...
It's so good as it goes on. So, Spike, just guess any actor. You'll never guess it.
Spike is... Jesus.
I should figure out who Spike is.
Is Spike it's Vin Diesel?
Nah, it's Sebastian Maniscalco. So there you go.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
It's like a little... Spike seems to be some sort of froggish creature from Super Mario Brothers 3. And it is a variant of a Koopa. Okay, next up we got Kamek. You know Kamek, right? That's like a
wizard.
Yeah.
Alison Brie.
Nope, Kevin Michael Richardson.
Wait, isn't Kamek a girl?
I thought so, but I don't know. Whatever. Next one, we got Cranky Kong in this.
Cranky Kong? Okay.
Cranky Kong. You know, Cranky Kong.
James Corden.
Oh, no. I wish. I'll tell you this. There's no James Corden in this movie.
Okay.
No. So instead of Cranky Kong is Fred Armisen. So that makes
Sure.
sense. So
Okay.
far, we got 3 actors that you're like, yeah, I guess whatever. You know, I agree the Kevin Michael Richardson one's a little strange, but maybe they've got to play on, I don't know. But those are all like voice actors and stuff. Now we're starting to get to the stars. There's some stars in this movie, DJ. Who is voicing Donkey Kong in the Super Mario Brothers animated film?
Michael B. Jordan.
No, I'll give you one more guess.
Stars.
I'll you know what? I'll give you a hint. This guy has been a voice. I mean, I'm sure he's voiced several things, but he was actually a voice in another movie where we were like, that's a weird choice. And then it was fine.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
No, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Oh, and that actually makes sense.
Yeah, like, I kind of see it. I don't quite see him as, like... I guess it depends on what their Donkey Kong is.
Yeah,
like,
hey,
is
man,
he...
it's Donkey Kong.
Yeah, is he like the loser from the Donkey Kong cartoons? Or is he like a big giant monkey that fights everybody? Because if he's the loser from the cartoons, then like, yeah, exactly. That fits
so funny,
perfectly. And
That's all I
what's
can
his
do. I can
name?
do Seth Rogen
Fred
like.
Armisen is his grandpa or something.
Right.
And I think in the comics, or not comics, in the canon, Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong. Is that right?
I believe no dog.
Yeah, I believe it's canonically like accurate that Cranky Kong is the Donkey Kong that threw barrels at Mario, and then Donkey Kong is a different guy. Yeah, otherwise it wouldn't. Yeah, right. Next up, we got Toad. Anyone would take a guess at who Toad might be?
Oh man. Are we at stars still?
Yeah, another star. This one is 2 guesses again.
It's got to be like a weirdly like high pitched like hello.
Yeah, I'll say this for Toad. It's not my least favorite casting. It's like it's kind of whatever. It's fine. This actor's done plenty of voice work, and he's good.
Steve Carell.
No, it's a good guess. Want to take another one?
I do. Even though I'm awful at this.
Steve Carell would be fun.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm like, who's in all my favorite kids movies? Jason Bateman.
No, it's Keegan-Michael Key is Toad.
That makes so much sense.
Fine. I'm not in love with that. I don't hate it. Now, we got top 4. These are the big 4, baby. Starting at the bottom, we got Bowser. Bowser's the villain in this Mario movie.
All right.
I know.
All right.
Crazy. I'm going to give you 3 guesses for this. I will say, this is the only casting decision that I'm, like, excited about. That I'm like, that's pretty good. I can't wait to see it.
Nando's excited. Okay. Is it...
And not just excited to see this person in this movie, but specifically, I think they'll make a fun Bowser. Like, I think it'll be interesting.
Ryan Reynolds.
No, God, no. No.
All right.
I mean, this guy's also got tons of voice work. Like, something he does, it's all over the place.
Jason Sudeikis.
No, that's not a bad guess. I would say you gotta think, like, he's got a big
like a
personality.
Okay.
Like,
I'll
he's
be good
like-
on the press junket.
That, for sure. And also, it's just like, he's gonna be the thing we all remember. It's almost like Jim Carrey in Sonic, where you're like, it's like that actor can at least do something.
Benjamin Schwartz.
Oh, I wish. No, it's a young up and comer named Jackson Blackson, also known as Jack Black.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty fun. All right, got a Luigi. Luigi's in this movie.
Oh my god.
Yep. I'll give you 3 guesses. It's also not too bad. It's fine. Actually, you know what? This one's also okay. I'm not as excited as with Jack Black Bowser, just because I'm like, well, what's this gonna be? It'll just be Luigi. Whereas with Jack Black Bowser, I'm like, is he gonna like have a song? What are we getting out of this?
Yeah,
but
right.
Someone's in this as Luigi, cast fine, star-ish. Like, they're a star. They're not quite at the Jack Black level, but they're a person.
Neil Patrick Harris.
No, that's not a bad one though. That's actually pretty good. And you're not super far off, like, in terms of like white person. That's all I got. That's all I got for you.
Glad I got that. Is it Man, I am horrible at this. I'm trying to think, like, who's famous and Italian? Is it?
I wouldn't dwell too far on the Italian thing. This one isn't quite Italian.
I'm trying to think, like, who's like a minus level, like, celebrity who could be
like, if you recognized them on the street, you'd be like, oh my god, him. But I don't think they get to go to, like, the celebrity sex parties.
Is it Danny DeVito?
No, I wish. That'd be terrific. Very much on the right track, though.
Oh, god damn it.
One more guess. This one, you might get it. That'd be incredible.
Joel McHale?
No. Oh, you were so close. Not really. I mean, you were close with Danny DeVito. It was Charlie Day is the Luigi in this movie.
Ah, damn it. I was right there.
Yeah, you were as close as I think you could possibly get. All right, 2 more. Peach. Peach is in this. DJ, the princess from Mario.
I got to go Alison Brie, number 1.
3 guesses. 1, not correct. No. Not Alison Brie. Here's what I'll say about her. She's also fine. This one I think I have the least opinion on. It's like, whatever. I will say she is blonde, so that helps. It is not Kristen Wiig.
I take that back as the blonde.
Kristen Wiig is blonde, isn't she?
No, isn't she like a brunette?
Oh, yeah, maybe. So yeah, so you can take that back, sure.
Amy Poehler.
No. One more guess. She's good. Like, this is an actress I like, and I think she's very talented, and I'm sure she'll do a good job.
I clearly just don't know blonde actresses.
Maybe blonde was a bad way to start it. I'll say this. She's on the young side, probably the youngest member of this cast. Also, like, I'm pretty sure she's blonde. She's blonde in some things. She's probably brunette, but blondish.
Is she like an actor, or does she do other things like music and stuff? Right?
Mostly an actor.
Mostly an actor.
Yeah, I would say that's what everyone knows her from. It's Hollywood these days. I'm sure she's also kind of a musician or something.
Because everyone is.
Yeah.
Fuck. Also, God. I'm just sexist as fuck because I don't know female actors.
Yeah, this is like Billy on the street, just like, name a woman. I don't know. She's been in some stuff recently. Like, she's in plenty of stuff. She's got a big career.
Name a woman.
Yeah, she's come up on the podcast several times. We don't have anything really exciting to say about her. I think we're all usually like, yeah, she was probably the best part of that. There was something she was in kind of recently that was altogether pretty terrible, and we were all like, she was good in it.
Is it Emily Blunt?
No, I was excited. No, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Fuck me.
Yeah, the New Mutants is on. Just getting a new shot.
She is great.
Yeah, I think, like, I as a Peach, she'll be fine, probably. Yeah. It's not...
You're not excited about it? I think that's, like, pretty good.
I'm not excited in terms of, like, I don't know. It'll be... like, she'll be fine. Not that I don't think she's great, but I just can't see what a great Peach will be like in this movie. Especially when you look at the Mario. DJ, I'm going to give you 10 guesses.
No!
Just throw out 10 actors that you think could be playing Mario. This is Mario. Mario. The main character in this whole movie is been cast.
Are they super duper star? Is it like a super duper?
It's a star. Okay. It's a full-on Hollywood sex party star.
I have to go number 1, The Rock. I have to go with The
Rock. Oh, that's a great guess, but no.
All right. Vin Diesel.
No. Oh, I love it. I would love it, but no.
All right, those 2. It's a full-on star.
Full-on star.
Chris Evans?
No. No. But absolutely terrible pick for this role. Just like the least inspired casting you could possibly imagine.
Oh, really?
For Mario.
Oh, God. All right. Oh, God. Is it Keanu Reeves?
No, God, no. No. This is an actor who, when you hear the name Mario and see their face next to the announcement, I burst out laughing. All the rest of them, I was like, that's pretty stupid. The Seth Rogen one, that's kind of dumb. But man, him as Mario, I was just like, what the fuck are they thinking?
Is it Kevin Hart?
No. I'll say this. You were pretty close twice.
Oh, really?
Like, within striking distance, I think.
Okay. So
I think you might get it in the next 5 guesses.
It was a buff man. Oh my God, is it Dave Bautista?
Nope, it is not Dave Bautista. You got 4 more guesses.
Is it Jason Statham?
No, God, no. even Jason Statham. Here's the thing about Jason Statham.
Yeah.
I mean, if Jason Statham were in a Mario movie, I'd almost be like, that's going to be fucking insane. That's such an interesting pick. What is this Mario movie? But this specific actor makes me go like, this is so stupid. This is the least exciting, most boring Hollywood nonsense pick for Mario I can imagine.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. Not hint. I don't know. This might throw you off. It's been in an animated thing before. Like, as you would expect from most big Hollywood movie stars.
Yeah,
but
it's because they're in everything,
Yeah.
Okay. Focus.
You got 3 guesses. I'd say it seems like you're circling it. I think you might get it.
Oh, God damn it. All right, it's a uninspired. It's definitely just like oh man, is it I feel like that would be interesting if it was this person. So I don't. Is it like? It's not like. All right. I'm just gonna say a stupid one. It's not like Robert De Niro, is it?
No. Oh God, I wish. This actor also in no way Italian. Maybe he is, but it's not part of his identity at all. I'll also say like he's like on the he's around the same age as probably the rest of these people.
Okay. Fuck. All right.
Two more guesses.
Oh, what am I missing? Okay, it's definitely just like generic man.
Yeah, if you saw this, it's just so funny, the picture of this guy as like, and the voice of a Mario.
Damn it. All right, no, I got this. All right, head in the game. The listeners must be like, DJ, oh my God.
I mean, I'm sure they already know just because the news has gotten out. But
yeah, that's why it's probably so frustrating. Cause it's like,
yeah, I'm sure they hate it.
Have we covered this person extensively?
I mean, they've come up. They've been in movies this year, at least one, maybe two, at least one.
Oh boy.
A fucking awful movie this year. What I absolutely hated.
Is it? Again, I know this is wrong, but I want to guess it just to be like,
yeah.
Is it Kelsey Grammer?
No, oh my God, no, that would be amazing. All right, you got one more guess.
Fuck, I'm not gonna. I'm like,
you've been so close so many times.
I'm missing the mark. It's like it's the big Hollywood man. I just can't think of who the stupid fucking is gonna go on the press tour and be like, "Oh, Mario, I'm the generic man, the man."
See, I think what I think you're missing about this is it's even less interesting than that. Like if it was if it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think that'd be something. But this guy's even less anything than that.
So, like, it's not... I'm just going to say it's not Sylvester Stallone, right?
No,
like,
no.
I'm not guessing that.
He would be Italian, so that wouldn't work either.
Right,
but
exactly.
It's someone... honestly, you... Maybe, like, your third or fourth guess was pretty close. And then after that, you had another guess that I was like, oh, that's close.
I got my last one.
All right.
I'm hoping. All right. Is it Bruce Willis?
No. Oh, my God. I wish it was Bruce Willis.
He wouldn't try. Oh, fuck. How close was I? Was I like...
I'm going to put it in the general thing, and you can see the picture, and you'll know how stupid it is.
All right.
It's in our mostly nitpicky thing right now.
Oh, no. How did I miss it?
Just man over man. Yep. He's just going to be Mario. Mario, the little Italian plumber. It's going to be fucking Chris Pratt. What are they thinking?
Oh my God.
It's amazing. I don't know how they did it. And like, I mean, I'm sure they were just like, Chris Pratt, he's famous. And he's done the voices in the past. But like, yeah. After Tomorrow War, it's like, it's just insane.
Oh, fuck Chris Pratt. God damn it.
Yeah, you said, here's the ones you named. You named Chris Evans, so you had a Hollywood Chris. But then you had also...
I'm so mad at myself.
You had a Hollywood Chris, you had Dave Bautista and Vin Diesel, so you were also naming Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm like, it's Bradley Cooper and him eventually. Yeah.
I really was circling. I'm so disappointed in myself.
The Tomorrow War Zone, Chris Pratt.
So, all right, maybe this will be like a weird, controversial opinion. I don't think it's like that insane. Like, he's Chris Pratt. We love him. He has charisma.
Show me, like, I mean, if I just showed you that picture of just Chris Pratt, Mario, it's just, like, so weird. Because there's so many other, like, it just makes me, someone who's watching this movie, go, like, what the fuck is this movie now? Because if they got a comedian or, like, Jack Black or someone that's, like,
right.
something, I'd be like, yeah, that's, like, that's a pick. Like, you'd be able to figure out what the direction is. But with Chris Pratt, it's like, they got the guy who's just a guy. Like, is Mario going to be a down-on-his-luck dad? Like, is he going to be a burnout? Are we getting the guy from fucking angle? Jurassic World? Yeah, like, I just don't get it. Even if it was Ryan Reynolds or any of the other Chris's.
Ryan Reynolds would be fun.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Or, like, anyone who's Italian, you know? There's plenty of them.
Sylvester Stallone. Oh, man.
Yeah, you getting a Mario movie.
I would be remiss without mentioning, Diggins, while he's not here with us in the audio, he's here with us in spirit, and he would like everyone to know his long-term stance of just hire the video game voice actors, you fucks. So.
Yeah, well, they did as undisclosed role. He's probably going to be a guy who Mario walks by and he's like, wow, that's me, Mario. And then he'd be like, no, you're not. You're a fucking loser. I'm Chris Pratt. And Mario, as Chris Pratt, will say that. And then this guy will be like, you're right, I'm a nothing. Blah. And then he'll make the sound that Mario makes when he dies. And then he'll die. And then they'll kill him in real life. They'll throw him off a bridge. Yeah. Oh, God.
Christ.
Yeah, we got a lot to look forward to next year. A Mario movie made by the Minions guys starring Chris Pratt as Mario.
I think Illumination has been like pretty hit or miss with a lot of the recent movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Minions', but
no, me neither. I mean, we did Sing, and I recall I liked Sing. I forgot where.
Did we do Sing? I've never watched Sing.
Did we not do Sing?
So. Nah.
Oh shit. Well, I love Sing.
Okay.
I thought Sing was great. Grinch was I was like 50-50 on it. And then what else has been like recent?
I feel like it's just that. And then like
but,
Minions
I
is
feel like
forever.
Illumination very like, you know, yeah, I mean, I'm sure the second Sing will be bad.
I mean, it'll be more singing and more silly pigs that are, doing songs. But I haven't seen Sing, so I can't say if it's good or bad, but it's probably bad. But it's probably
fine. You would like it. I like Taron Egerton's in it, and he's great.
I do love him. See, here's my thing with Sing. I haven't seen it, so I don't know what it's about. But I mean, I know what it's about. I don't know exactly what plays it out. Yeah. I hate any movie that encourages a non-singer to sing. I hate it. I hate the ones where it's like Pitch Perfect, where it's like, you see, if only you sang in the shower, they'd be like, you're the best singer ever. Come join our singing group. And it's like those people sing on the subway, and I hate them. And like they're like, oh, if only I'll be noticed. There's something about that genre of movie that I just cannot stand.
I think the thing about Sing that works for me, at least, is that that's like a subplot for one of the characters. But I think the fun part of like the movie is that like, so Matthew McConaughey plays this like koala who he's not like a grifter, but he's earnest. And it's like the most Matthew McConaughey. It's so good. It's like,
hey, Matthew McConaughey is the koala?
Yeah.
What's Seth MacFarlane?
He's a little mouse guy.
Oh, okay.
And he would probably be your favorite character because he is actually a grifter and he's like very funny. And he's like, I'm the best singer. You all suck. Get fucked, nerds.
Did Seth Rogen or Seth MacFarlane write all those characters' lines and just like be like, I'm coming in with a pen and writing that my character's the best? Is he good? Is he the best? He probably sings like some old crooner song, like all the things he does in his movies.
He sings My Way because of course he does.
Oh yeah, there you go. Probably pretty good.
But like, I think the fun thing is that everyone who like all the voice actors for like the main characters like pretty fun. Like even like ScarJo plays this porcupine and like her subplot's fun. Like everyone has their own subplot and it's not like the subplot is, oh man, if only people could sing my awesome singing talent. Like that's one of them because everyone has to have those. But like Seth MacFarlane's his mouse is he's like he keeps grifting and that catches up to him. ScarJo's the porcupine has like issues with her boyfriend. Taron Egerton, it's like the classic like my dad wants me to be this, but it's like High School Musical basically. But like more fun because it's like my dad wants me to do crimes and I don't want to do crimes because crimes are bad, right? It's not like, oh, basketball or theater. It's like, no, yeah, you probably shouldn't do crimes. But God, my dad wants me to crime so hard.
Basketball is a crime as far as I'm concerned. Crime against the court.
What are you, a Republican in the 70s?
I mean the court of the basketball court. It's also the crime against the Supreme Court when you really get down to it, you know? They should make all the Supreme Court justices play basketball every couple of years, and if they're too old, they get replaced.
I mean, RBG, like, Like she actually played.
That's
basketball
true.
for a
She
while,
did
so
play
she
basketball.
probably-
Yeah, Stephen Breyer. Let's see what he could do on the court. You know,
I want to see. What's his face? The drunkard. He's like really tall. Right? So he'd probably
the Cav.
Kavanaugh. Yeah, Kavanaugh like coached like like boys basketball. He probably post up because he's 6'5".
He could set up
also.
He could also do like a 5-on-5. You could get Squee. You could get Crim Man or whatever all the dumb names of his friends were. You can get, Punchy Larry and the whole group. You put a time on the calendar, they will be there to play the rest of the Supreme Court justices of basketball. Yeah, I feel like they'd all probably be pretty good except for Stephen Breyer, and then he'd have to retire. What a bummer.
Yeah.
And that would be bad.
But yeah, I think Sing is good and it works because, like, for all the reasons I said, it works for me. I think you should give it a shot, Nando. Because there are characters who you would like, and the fun thing is like there's some screen time. It's like, oh, it's good, and like because I think Matthew McConaughey's character is so fun, and he's most of the screen time because he's like the main character. I think a lot of it works.
I have to ask you this: Is he even though you say he's a koala bear or something?
Yeah.
Even though he is a koala bear, is he also kind of sexy for a koala bear?
No, they don't really like play. I know. He has way more like dad energy. Like it's Dad McConaughey.
Okay.
Movie. He's like, I'm just a guy who wants to do my thing, and but yeah, he's like not sexy. Like very down on his luck, very just like a guy. But
challenge accepted, DJ. I'll watch the movie and decide how sexy his koala is.
Watch Sing and see what you think.
Maybe eventually. It's on my list.
I think it'll win you over.
I bet it will. If it wasn't for a bunch of other stuff that's more important to me immediately, I'd probably watch it tonight. But there's so many other things.
Even like
which we'll talk about in Rick's.
What's her face?
Speaking of other things,
Renee, who walk the line. She plays the girl. Johnny Cash's not wife.
The one from that movie where the three boys come live in her house.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's not Renee.
It's not. It's oh my god.
Oh god. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. We can do this. She's in that movie. She's in Legally Blonde.
Yep. We can say all the movies she's in.
Elle in Legally
Reese
Blonde.
Witherspoon.
See, to be fair to us, she doesn't have a real first name. Her first name is Reese, and it's not even spelled the cool way like Reese Darby. It's spelled like the candy. Not good.
It is so like the candy. Her subplot's like fun. Like she's like trying to be a mom and like breaking down. I don't know.
And there's three little koalas that want to live with her and raise her daughter.
My god! Here's so stuff for you. You know who's in it as like a very fun character? Nick Kroll.
Oh, okay. What happened to him? Where's he been?
Kroll show? We still not doing Kroll show?
No more Kroll show. Not that I've seen. I loved Kroll show. It was interesting. I feel like
I think it was for a very specific audience. Very much like I think you should leave.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if Kroll show was a Netflix bit, it would have like done better for longer.
Yeah, I feel like Kroll show probably needed any other name.
You think so?
I want to watch Kroll show. You want to sit down and watch some Kroll show? Like, I don't know if they could have named it like Nick Show or something else, but Kroll show is not a good name for that show. First of all, Nick Kroll, he's famous-ish, but he's not like, Kevin Hart or something where you could probably put his name in the show like they did on that Quibi show. But
that's right.
Remember that? Yeah, they're like Die Hart, I think was the name of the
oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Quibi.
Was that Quibi or something else?
It was Quibi. I mean, it's something else now. Roku TV, I guess, or whatever.
I have a Roku. I should see if I can get those shows.
But yeah, it's like Kroll show. Ugh. I feel like that's right up there if they had named it like lots of characters. I'd almost maybe be like more into it. Or if they had multiple people that weren't just him. And then they spotlighted a bunch of his comedian friends and they just made Saturday Night Live, but good, then that would be great. If they, you know what, they should do that. And that's kind of what I think you should leave is. There should be an evil Saturday Night Live made of the comedians that got rejected from Saturday Night Live or fired. So, like, speaking of R.I.P. Norm Macdonald, when he gets fired from Saturday Night Live, he goes to evil Saturday Night Live, and it's funny and cool. That's Instead, they all just have wonderful careers and then tell a funny story afterwards. But we could have, like, the anti-Saturday Night Live with, like, all the rejects. That'd be great.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Then Saturday Night Live would start auditioning just like terrible people and then rejecting them so they'd be forced to go onto that show. Miles Teller got a Saturday Night Live audition. Yeah, but it's just so they could force him into the reject pipeline. Oh, no.
Is John Mulaney back? Oh, heel turn.
Oh, my God. Love me some John Mulaney.
I thought we hate him now or whatever. Like, isn't he evil or whatever?
For having turned his life around and dating a very attractive woman and having a baby.
Well, apparently he must have cheated on his wife, apparently. I don't know.
That's what he says, or they say, but also, like, I feel like we talked about this. There's no way, but, like, he probably was split up with his wife for a while before that.
Yeah. Especially
with all his alcoholism and whatnot, and just drugs and his crazy life that he talks about with Seth Meyers that one time. God, he would be so good too. He could have been the main guy on the evil Saturday Night Live with, like, it could have been like that Sack Lunch Bunch thing he did. They're all right. Better. Yeah. Oh, God. Speaking of things that are better
James
or worse.
Franco. I was trying to pivot, yeah. But
real quick, speaking of, I don't even know why this came up. Did you hear about Fantastic Beasts 3?
No! Is it happening?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's definitely happening.
Grindelwald?
Grindelwald is back, but a different guy, not Johnny Depp. But I forget who, but it's somebody. I guess Mad Mikkelsen, maybe? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But they have a title for it. We have a title for Fantastic Crimes of Grindelwald 2, or whatever we're calling these.
Okay.
It's called I'm not going to make you guess this, because you probably wouldn't. Although, it's the Chris Pratt of titles for this movie, so actually you might be able to. But it's Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, or something.
Oh, gross. Oh, there's going to be so many flashbacks. Oh, my God, there's going to be so much...
what's
his face? The guy who plays Dumbledore now. Jude Law. Jude Law.
Fantastic crime.
How many affairs did he have? Is that what we're going to learn?
And he's not gay. That's what we'll learn for sure. You know? His secret is going to be he likes women too much.
Do we have a release date?
The same day as the Super Mario Brothers movie, probably. I don't know. I feel like they usually release those around Christmas.
I'm surprised it's happening. I legit thought we were done.
I did too. But also, they'll never let us be done with this one.
Well, isn't it 5 in total we're supposed to get or whatever?
Yep. Oh my God, it's April 2022.
Oh, that's around the corner as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is around the corner. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's going to be fun.
No, it's not.
No, it won't. It'll be bad. It'll be a bad movie. Maybe it'll be good. I don't know. Probably not. I mean, it'll be good in some ways, but then when J.K. Rowling gets her little mitts on it, it will not be good. You know?
Yeah.
You'll be able to read. Like, you'll be able to see it and just tell what she changed. That would be fun. Have him spit on this character, please. It gels with my worldview. I'm J.K. Rowling. Nobody likes me anymore.
Fuck.
I think Chris Pratt should be Grindelwald, she said.
He might be a good Grindelwald.
It would probably be a great Grindelwald. Yeah, you know what? Like, I feel like Chris Pratt, we need to, like, reboot him. Yeah. I don't know how, but we need to... We need to shut down Chris Pratt until we can figure this whole thing out.
I think, like, the heel turn might be the answer. I really do. Like, I don't think that's a crazy idea to get, like, a heel turn Chris Pratt.
To have Chris Pratt heel turn?
Yeah. Right?
Has he not already? It kind of feels like he already did.
Wait, has he? No.
Well, I mean, I don't know. There was the point where everybody was mad at him for his church being super anti-gay or something. Speaking of people who left their wife for another person, his was way worse because everybody liked his wife, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, cutest couple ever!" And then they split up, and it was like, who is he dating now? Arnold Schwarzenegger's granddaughter, or whatever.
Yeah,
so
John Mulaney's wife had the not benefit, but I guess the unfortunate cause of being like a not famous person, therefore an undesirable.
Yes, a poor. Who can love a monster like me? She said to John Mulaney every night before bed, and he said something like, "Oh, darling," or whatever he says in one of his weird voices.
That wasn't bad. That was honestly like we've had way worse impressions on this show.
My neighbors are probably like, "John Mulaney's downstairs. Yeah, let's go get him."
Well, I mean, Adam Sandler's around the corner, right?
Oh, my God, yeah. He's right up the block being like, John Mulaney, have we ever been in a movie together? Probably, but I can't remember it right now.
The secret Uncut Gems scene that John Mulaney's Oh, can you imagine if instead of Mike Francesa as like the boogie was John Mulaney? Well, you see, if you parlay the two teams, it'll be a really great outcome for you.
Oh my God, I forgot Mike Francesa's in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That movie is great. I already liked it, but now I remember how much I like it.
Just because Francesa's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I only remember like 2 lines from that movie, and they're those 2 from all the memes, and one of them's not that interesting, and I don't want to say the other one in John Mulaney voice, so, it'd probably be pretty good.
No, say it. Oh,
no,
man.
I don't even remember it. I just forgot. Speaking of things I've already forgotten, but I remember again.
But actually.
Oh my God. The movie of the year, guys. Venom comes out in 2 weeks, right? Something like that.
1 week. It's October 1st. And
it's been 1 week since Venom is about to come out.
Yeah. It'll be 2 weeks for us, or like however we release these. I don't know. Maybe we'll delay it so we're like right on the Venom pulse. Yeah. Who's to say?
Yeah, we're going to put this out. We'll put this episode out on October 1st and title it Venom, and then lots of spaces, and then the Spider-Man movie with Venom, Spider-Man 3. And this is after that. To eat up that hot Venom SEO.
Skinny Venom, really. We should call it.
Yeah, right.
That's what this is.
What if Venom was good? Spider-Man 3. Now, instead of being a screwball comedy, it's just a weird little nerd. So none of them are Venom, really. But we got a Venom movie for you guys. Everybody who's listening, technically. This is a movie, and if Avi Arad has his way, every movie would be a Venom movie, but this one specifically was the one where he was like, you gotta make that movie a Venom movie, you guys. And then they did.
Yeah.
It made a lot of money. The end.
Did make a lot. I wish that was the end.
Yeah. I mean, it was the end of those movies for a while.
Yeah.
Until they got Doctor Strange did a spell or something, and they got recanonized.
Sam Raimi had to like go to an island to like
think about his crimes.
Yeah,
he had to go make that Wizard of Oz movie with James Franco.
I forgot about that. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
That's a Sam Raimi special right there.
Fuck.
So I don't know what else he's up to, but I want to say that. Yeah, I think that was his first movie after. Let me look it up. He produces a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure he did that.
No, I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Oz the Great and Powerful came out 2013. Yeah, so yeah, he totally did that.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Remember another movie Sam Raimi did that we did recently, talked about not too long ago?
I don't.
The hit movie Golden Arm. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Did we talk about that movie?
Well, I mean, the Golden Arm. Like, we talked about it during the Quibi-a-sance.
Oh, yeah, but that was so long ago.
It was a while ago, but that was his one, so.
Okay.
He's back, baby. And he's making Doctor Strange, so maybe that'll be good.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is any indication.
Probably not.
Up for grabs. Yeah, it could go any other way.
No, I think it'll be good.
Yeah, it'll probably be all right.
I have faith.
I like Doctor Strange in other movies that aren't about Doctor Strange.
Yeah, right.
I like him in the Avengers one. Yeah, and he's fun in Thor. He's good in everything that does not bear his name. So hopefully they'll fix that. But you guys, everybody wants us to talk about Spider-Man 3.
We've really delayed the.
I know. It's so
I started
hard.
talking about Sand, and it's like, oh, we can't talk about it yet. Spoil it for the fans.
Is this the most sand in a movie?
It's the most sand in New York. I don't think New York has that much sand. It's
they
impossible.
deliver it in trucks to the construction sites made of sand.
It's nothing but sand.
Oh, it'd be so funny if there's a scene where Venom's driving the sand truck over to the construction site. Just like lots of them, too. And then he's like, all right, there's enough sand for you, Sandman. Go to town. Go crazy.
He's like, oh, good. This is what I was missing. My secret sand piles.
Yeah. Imagine if he went to the desert and just took over the world. Like, he could just blow countries. Like, just walk over countries and totally destroy them.
It's like the rats.
Yeah, it is like the rats. He should do that.
Yeah.
He should go to, like, the Sahara and just suck up all the sand. Because he can, like, I always thought Sandman, I don't think Sandman fits in the Spider-Man villain universe at all.
No.
Way too powerful. But, it works a little bit if he just has to be about as big as a guy, and maybe he can make himself a little taller, but he doesn't get to turn into a big giant monster cookie from Shrek 2 and like go, grrr. But if he does that, then he can fight fucking Thanos. It's all Everything's
right.
out the window. Also, what counts as sand?
Well, like dirt, I guess, is sand.
Yeah, is it? I don't know. It might be.
Yeah, it's a weird line.
It's not. I think Sandman would work if the thought process was just the specific. He was turned into irradiated mega sand on a pile of sand, so he can use that sand to turn his body into big hammer fists and stuff, and that's it. Maybe a little extra sand. But he can't just suck up all the sand in the construction site and turn into a big monster man.
And be immaterial. It's way too fucking much. Also, not for nothing, I don't think that those scientists are very good because they're just there's a disturbance in the thing. Probably a bird. It'll fucking fly away because it's an idiot bird.
Yeah.
But, let's check if there's a person or something in there. Jesus,
a lot of sandbirds in the city of New York.
Although someone should have stopped him, I suppose. Any scientist could have been "Oh, Jim, could we check if it's a guy?" No, you moron. There's no guy in there. It's a bird.
We put up a fence. There's no way anyone could get in here. Even if it was a bird. What if it's a bird?
It'll fly away, Nando.
What if it doesn't, What if it gets hit by all the little thingies like it did with him, and then it just turns into a big sandbird monster, takes over New York, wants to steal all the bags of money.
It's dumb because it's a demolecularization experiment.
Yeah. You just figure they do those inside, It's a weird open-air experiment.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, and because it doesn't matter how he gets his powers. All we get is the sand goes into him, crystallizes him, because they go to the molecular level, possibly I don't know if they go to his DNA, so the submolecular level, and just it crystallizes and turns to sand. It turns his DNA into sand, which fucking sure, guys.
This was the 2000s where all the movies where you got a superhero had to have a shot where your DNA either turns the color of the superhero or gets covered in goo and then becomes evil DNA. But it's X-Men, the Hulk, and this all have that. Spider-Man in the first one, his spider bites him and his DNA turns blue and red like Spider-Man's costume. So, that's probably what happened. His DNA probably got all sandy, and then it just turned into extra sand DNA. I mean, yeah, it's Sandman. Out of all of the villains in this movie, Sandman is certainly one of them. He goes from street level thug to pretty good villain to the most dangerous thing on the planet in 3 scenes. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Oh, dude, fuck this movie.
It's very long.
Oh my god, it's so long.
Yeah, it's got to be the longest one of these Spider-Man movies, but I don't remember how long the other, the newer ones are. But,
well, Nando, before we get to that, we have to do our favorite segment.
Oh, God.
Guess the IMDb, B spelled like spelling bee.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to make you guess, because you made me guess the whole Mario cast.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I did make you guess the Mario
I'm just going to do executive order. I say now that you have to do this, and if you have a problem with it, I can sue you for $10,000 or whatever.
Yeah,
and,
that's fair. I have my Uber driver.
Yeah, and your Uber driver.
This is a good system of justice. I think I got one for this, but see the problem with this is this movie's 4 movies, so it's how many of these 4 movies do I want to cram in here? Let's see. Okay.
I think there is a word in here that is because for Kate and whatever the other one, I'm I don't know if there's a word that's the word. I think there's a word in here where if you get it, it's oh, slam dunk. If we're doing the grading system, it's A plus.
Okay. I'm gonna say Peter Parker's world is upended when a sinister alien goo gives him the power. What does it do, though? Makes him... Hold on. Peter Parker's life is upended when a villain from his past returns, and at the same time, another villain from his past returns, but not a villain from his past. Friend turned enemy. And then at the same time, a black goo turns him into a venomous version of himself.
Oh man, do you want to take another crack at this?
I don't know. Oh, it's so hard. Okay, I think for this thing, here's my thought process. I think I have to pick one thing and make that the central thing of the movie, and everything kind of orbits around it.
So, do you remember what the poster looks like?
Yeah, I do. I remember what one of the posters looks like. So it's like the one where he's sitting on the church looking all sad.
No, there's like a different one here that I think is like.
Oh,
I think it'll help. And this is the poster I remembered. So
all right. Well, I'm willing to take a shot again.
Don't open the link. Just look at that poster.
I won't. I'm not even gonna look at the poster. I got a better one.
Okay.
Peter Parker's life comes crashing down when an evil alien force turns him into lets his worst impulses run wild. Is that something?
I give that like a B+.
Okay.
As is. Now, if you want to go for the A+++, you want to try and guess the word that is like, we always do this game. Like, you'll never get this word.
I mean, part of me wants to say it's symbiote, but that's probably not it.
It's not symbiote, no.
The word.
It's like one of those like, oh, really? You picked like this to describe? Because it like you got it. It's like it's not like goo or symbiote. Like really?
Right. Life form?
No. I'll give you one more.
Invader?
No.
What is it?
It's entity.
Ah, okay.
So you had a little out of order, but you basically, I think, had it. So that's why I gave you like the B+ whatever. A strange black entity from another world bonds with Peter Parker and causes inner turmoil as he contends with new villains, temptations, and revenge.
Nice.
So, yeah, right?
Yeah, it's just all that stuff happens. Everything you could possibly imagine in a Spider-Man movie happens in the Spider-Man movie.
It would be great if that beat that they does happened earlier than like minute 90. Like,
yeah, that's true.
It takes forever for that summary to come to fruition. At least in the Kate summary, it's like, oh yeah, that is what this is about. And you know, same thing with the one we did, Malignant. It's like, yeah, that is what that's about. Whereas like this, it's like, let's do a lot of bullshit beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, the funniest thing about this movie is, besides all the funny jokes that came out of it, which are pretty good, you could pretty much just take Venom out of the movie and it's fine. Like, all the bad decisions he makes and everything he does that's bad is bad, but also it's like, he kind of wants to do that. And, yeah, it just makes the movie so much more complicated, where it's like, because, I mean, it makes him kind of a jerk, which is, like, a little unusual for Spider-Man, but, like, you know, there's plenty of stuff he does in the beginning of the movie before he gets Venomized that characters are like, you're a bad guy, Peter, and you're like, yeah, that's enough. That's plenty. He could just do this.
Yeah, he's like a little not like power hungry, but he's a little like ego because you know Spider-Man's like so great and the key to the city and blah 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 blah. And it's like he's like out of touch, right? But it said they had all this bullshit. I'll do you one better, Nando. I think they could have removed fucking Harry from this whole movie.
Yeah,
I think there's ways to tweak it where it's fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think there's so much shit in this movie that's extra, and going back, you kind of forget about it. I think the one thing, if there's one thing you can remove from this movie, it's the part where they reset Harry for half the movie for no reason. Like, he has fucking amnesia. That's the thing that you do in bad soap operas when you just want to make the soap opera longer. And you have to make it like, well, what if that character didn't know all the things they already know? Well, I'll probably get an episode out of it if we just pretend they have amnesia. And it's like, he just gets amnesia. There's some scenes of them hanging out, and then he becomes evil and starts again where he started in the beginning of the movie. And it's like, we already spent 2 movies with this guy. We get it. We know what he likes, what he doesn't like. Also, I feel like this movie puts a lot of it, like, there's a lot of fighting between Peter and MJ, which I get. But then there's also that, like, oh, Harry's back in the mix. What if Harry and MJ? And I'm like, they weren't really together, though, were they? Like, they dated a little bit, and then she broke up with him. I never thought he was a threat romantically.
No, God, no.
Yeah, like, it's weird that it's like, I don't know, that it's just like these two people, they've just got so much chemistry. I mean, and to be fair, you know, they have more chemistry than the other two, than Peter and MJ, because, you know, they just don't do that in their movie. They just look at each other and get upset. But it's weird that so much of this plot is Harry-centric, and it's almost like the movie is like trying to find new ways to make Harry more of a main player in every element of the movie, where he really doesn't belong.
It's true. And it's like, it's a shame because, well, I'm gonna take that back. It's not a shame, but like, it's clear that they were trying to do a full like through line for this like wrap up on the trilogy, and I have no love for James Franco because I think he sucks, but like they wanted to like put that story in here, so it's like, all right, let's give it a shot, but they picked the wrong beats, man.
Yeah, I mean, like at the end of the last movie, he's like, I know who you are. You're Spider-Man. I'm the new Green Goblin, probably. I don't know if I forget. In that movie, he like, I guess in the beginning of this movie, you see the bit where he's like going over all the old costumes and stuff, and like almost puts on some sort of silver one. Not like almost puts on, but like you see all the helmets, and you're kind of like, yeah, that's where I feel like this movie will start. Is it's about Harry Osborn just destroying Spider-Man's life as revenge, even though we'll talk about it, but it doesn't make any sense why. But like the movie is going to be about him just messing up Peter's life, and maybe he'll recruit some villain or something, and then that's it. But then immediately he gets amnesia, and it's really, really weird. Also, he looks terrible. His outfit is so dumb.
Also, James Franco sucks.
Yeah, he's a bad person, and as far as allegedly, and he's not good in these. I don't think anybody's particularly. I don't know. I think they got a really strange three characters to anchor these movies.
Yeah.
Like, none of them are like, they all just feel, watching these movies again and just seeing them all act, they all seem really tired. Like, they're all just, or like really high. Just the way that they talk and the way that they like don't move their eyes that much. And just like, oh, you hate my father. I have to get revenge on you. And it's like, no, I love you, Mary Jane. I don't know. Just like, for a superhero movie, especially one as over the top and zany as this, the three leads are quite muted, and it's a lot. It's a choice.
Well, and it's insane that like in the first one they want us to think that those kids are high schoolers. Like, we're making fun of Dear Evan Hansen for putting Ben Platt, the 27-year-old, in high school, but like, how old was Tobey Maguire in 2001?
That's the trick, though. You fill the high school with 30-year-olds, and we're fine. One 30-year-old, insane. Like the craziest decision.
Like, Tobey Maguire was 26 when Spider-Man came out.
Yeah.
So, like,
none of them, I mean, I was younger than them at that time, so it was probably like, all adults look the same.
Yeah. But no, that's fair.
But yeah, I feel like all the other characters in these movies, except for Thomas Hayden Church, but like, obviously all the background, like J. Jonah Jameson and most of the villains and most of the other guys, everybody else in these movies is pretty up. Like, they're all like performing at a pretty high level and like yelling like, Parker, you gotta do this. And then Peter Parker's like, but I don't want to. I like Spider-Man. And it's just like, you got nothing else. You got no energy for this one. And it's not that I don't think he's good in this. I don't think. I think he's fine. It's this movie just that when those three are all in scenes as themselves and not their alter egos, there's really weird energy, and it's most on display in that middle bit of this movie when Harry is like forcing MJ to break up with Peter on the bridge and stuff. And yeah, I don't know, the movie's bad.
What's worse, that or when they're making the fucking omelet? Because I wanted to gouge my eyes.
The omelet's the worst. Yeah.
Oh my god, the omelet's
terrible. It feels, it must have been not a deleted scene, an outtake that they were like, that could go in the movie, because like, and that's the other thing, like, that scene is the only scene where MJ specifically sounds like a person, like, and like, Kirsten Dunst is a good actress who can act and has range and stuff, but I do feel like a lot of the times in these movies, it's a lot of like, why don't you love me, Spider-Man? I wish Spider-Man was big and strong and brave, and I loved him or whatever. And in that one, she's just like, oh man, you dropped the thing. That's weird. Oh, now we can't eat it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's what people sound like. Nobody in this movie sounds like people. They all sound like cartoon characters, which is fine, but it does make that scene feel quite strange.
Yeah.
Like, there's that scene where she's reading her lines to Harry, and then like they're practicing her lines.
Oh god, it's the for the play he wrote or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Stupid. And I'm like, remembering it, or like, you think about it, and it's like her reading these lines sounds like her speaking normally.
Yeah.
Like her character always sounds like she's reading lines. So does Toby, but definitely her. And maybe it's just more clear because Your character specifically goes into line reading mode and is the same.
No, I get that. I totally get that.
What's the best thing about this movie? Let's talk about nice things. There are some good things, probably.
All right. I think that there's a moment when they're trying to do the, like, Venom takes over Peter Parker, and he doesn't go into full monster, but he's just, like, a little bit more, like, edge. That, like, that's the tone they should have struck, because that's, like, more nuanced and interesting. It's like, what if Peter Parker wasn't like a chump and was like yelling at his landlord to fix his door?
That damn door!
And,
yeah.
But I'm watching, so I'm like, yeah, you tell him to fix that door. But then we go immediately to where he's like hitting Mary Jane, and it's like, you missed it, movie. Like, give him a little bit of edge, because Parker has no edge. So, like, what, and, like, you know, what if he's, like, tried to get a job for himself and blah, blah, blah. Like, it was close, but it goes, like, way too far too fast. So.
Yeah, I think this movie has, like, so you got the two plot lines that are revengey, where it's, like, Sandman and then Harry. And Harry's not as much, like, revenge as anti-revenge. But it's, like, these two really personal plot lines where it's, like, you can imagine Peter as Spider-Man could go like, man, if I were just a little rougher, I could probably take care of this. And that part of it makes sense as like so then Venom would make him maybe do that more.
And like, I think, sorry.
Well, just as like a rage monster thing that like kind of makes you a worse version of yourself. I don't think the worst version of, like, I feel like it works when it's like, what do I want to do? I want to punch and kill. And it's like, I'll do that instead now. I wouldn't have done it, but the suit is letting me, and that's my internal monologue. But then when it's like, what do I want to do? I want to get all the attention at this piano bar. It's like, that, I feel like you could be like a jerk and break up with Mary Jane and stuff, and that's fine. And like go start dating Gwen. Like, that's interesting as its own thing, but they just execute that in such a strange way that it doesn't feel like it's the same thing as when he's Venom, like Black Suit Spider-Man. It feels like it's like a different problem he's got. Like the Venom symbiote is both very aggressive when it comes to beating guys up and a real douche when it comes to going out. It's not both. It's one or the other.
Yeah, and you know what I think too? Why, like, if you could have put a little nuance, it would have been better. Because like Mary Jane loves Peter for his like boyishness, and he's like, oh, he's so quaint or whatever. And like, if you put a little bit of edge on him, Mary Jane can be like, Peter, this isn't you. But instead, it's like, what if he hit her? Because rah. And then it's like, fuck you, movie. And you know, I don't know. Like, I get it. Like, you want to be like, oh, just look what it's doing to him. But like, you have nowhere to go once you've done that, right? There's no more like runway to tell a story once you have it. Well, I guess the suit made him the most evil it could have possibly made him. The end.
Yeah, and I think it's tough because I did just read a comic called Spider Shadow by Chip Zdarsky, which is 5-issue series that is like, what if you kept the black suit for a little longer and it really like did some damage? And there's a bit, and to not spoil the comic but like by the end of like the first issue, I'm pretty sure he's killed some villain in a way that's like, all right, now he's going a little over the edge. But even by the end of that comic, Mary Jane's like, he's got a big epiphany where he's like, it wasn't me, it was the suit, I didn't have control, or maybe I did, maybe I'm a monster. Mary Jane's like, no, you're not a monster, you're a good person, I know it. And like, the suit is, you know, maybe it's part of you, but you know, it's more complicated than that. They never get to have that conversation here. There's no, like, there's just no, like, resolution to the whole how much of the Venom Spider-Man relationship was every single thing he did, and, like, when did it cross the line. So, like,
Yep.
Obviously, we've talked about this maybe, like, obliquely once or twice, but, like, Sam Raimi didn't want to make it about Venom, and then Avi Arad made him do a Venom in it, which, you know, tough. But even when Venom's not part of the plot, if the plot still involved, and I bet it did, like, what if Spider-Man got famous, and wouldn't that be difficult to deal with as a person who's, you know, just in a relationship with someone who's fired? I feel like the first beat there, or like at the last beat of that story, is pretty similar to whatever the last beat of the Venom story is, which is a lot of apologizing and then a lot of like, now I've learned a lesson. Like, he didn't learn any lesson. He learns, I guess it's not, you shouldn't do revenge, but.
Yeah, right. You shouldn't kill people or whatever.
Yeah, it's so weird. It is also so weird that there are two revenge stories happening in this story. There's Harry and the guy, and then Harry and Peter, and Peter and the Sandman guy. And Peter knows the lesson of the Harry one is, it's not my fault, whatever. And he doesn't ever really apply that to the Sandman one. There's no point where he's talking to MJ and MJ's like, hey, I know you really mad at the Sandman guy, but didn't you just get in a fight with someone who wanted to kill you because they thought you killed a family member of theirs? Like, let's take a step back. But yeah, this movie's really weird.
I think too, because this movie had so much to like deconstruct and so many themes. It's funny how much, I don't know, for me as I'm watching this, because I found myself often going to the timestamps, not because like the length for sure, but it's also like, wait, how is like this stuff not happened yet? It's not very superhero-y. Like the first big Spider-Man beat, I think, is him like rescuing Gwen Stacy from like a crane accident, which, by the way, the nitpicks I have.
The first big superhero bit, well, I guess there's not a superhero, but the Spider-Man, or like the Peter Harry fight, I think is the first big action beat in the movie.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Which I think is pretty good.
Okay,
as
fair,
fight scenes go. It is still like 15, 20 minutes into the movie, which is insane for a movie about superheroes. Like, you can't. There was apparently in Spider-Man 4, and I've seen what was I going to say? I've seen the storyboards for this it was going to start with him arresting Mysterio and just like bringing him to a jail. And I don't even think there was going to be a fight, but just like that was going to have happened. Right. And this movie feels like it should have started with something like that. But instead, the movie has Spider-Man watch a movie of Spider-Man and go like, is Spider-Man great, kids? Here's more fucking voiceover. This movie needs more voiceover, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
So great.
So the Harry Peter fight, yes, very good, very, very good. It's amazing how much Harry's like just a guy, and like like when you really think about it, it's like, wait, Spider-Man? It's like, oh man, Spider-Man would body this dude, and he does. He
absolutely kills this friend of his.
Yeah, like, and he's not evil yet. He's just like,
no,
yeah, I'm a fucking kill you so hard.
Yeah.
It is a good scene. It's like actually like a pretty like strong opening for a bad movie. But I guess that's to say it goes downhill so fast.
Yeah, like there's so much stuff I would strip away from this movie if I could just like really take a scalpel to it. One of the things that I think really doesn't work is the fact that they're getting married already. And like he's thinking about proposing to her and stuff. And I do think like that conversation where they talk about it is weird. But like I almost think you could kind of start, and I like the push and pull in the fight or like that little bit of tension of like, is he gonna drop the ring? That's important to him. But you could do that with something else. I don't know. Make it his last $20 bill. He keeps getting down to one $20 bill, and it's like, oh no, I won't be able to pay rent or whatever. But like if the movie started with like a Peter Parker narration where he's like riding his stupid little scooter and he's just like, Spider-Man, things are going pretty great. I have defeated wait, what's that? And then just Harry pops in and that fight starts. Like that'd be such a fun opening cool. there. Like, but yeah, it's 20 minutes into the movie. It's pretty weird. What is Harry's deal?
Harry's mad that Peter killed his dad.
Yeah.
Which, like,
fair.
It's not what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not. And Peter tries to tell him,
hey, man, it wasn't me.
And Harry's like, it was so, I guess. You. Yeah.
I saw something out of context. Oh, my butler knows something secret, but he's not going to tell. Why would he? Let's be.
And also, like, I feel like this movie, I don't know why Spider-Man doesn't, like, Norman, when he dies in one, is like, don't tell Harry. And you're like, I mean, it's nice that you want me to not do that, but he's going to find out something eventually, Norman.
Yeah.
I don't know why you want this to... I understand why you want this to be a secret, but, like, I feel like when you die... What should I not tell Harry? That you were the Green Goblin? Because I'm pretty sure you're going to get an autopsy at some point.
Yeah,
because
cause of
Spider-Man
death.
dropped you off. Yeah, they're going to find all that green shit in your body and all your friends that are murdered. There's going to be video of you murdering that one friend in the office where you say, like, back to formula. So, like, the secret's out. At that point, it's almost like, tell Harry, please, explain this to Harry so you don't get in trouble.
Yeah, right? And, like, let him know, don't take the poison. Don't go in the machine.
Yeah, wait.
It'd be bad.
That's a question I had about this movie.
Yeah.
Is the machine in his room?
Yeah, did he get an upgrade? That was, like, very unclear.
When did he install it in his apartment? Because Norman does it at the science lab at Oscorp, and I assume that he doesn't need it after that. So does he build Harry a little goblin corner thing for when he wants to be the goblin?
It's like, your turn, Harry.
Yeah.
I'm a bad father.
Why does he have multiple goblin helmets?
Great point, Nando, as we often say. Great point.
Like he gives him and I don't even mean why does he have the little stupid paintball helmet, but why does he even have a second goblin helmet that he has in the thing? Because the first one is destroyed in the fight with Spider-Man, I assume, but there's still a pristine one. Like, is he how much does he think he's going to be up to this in the first Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, right.
Just like take over the world, go. I'll definitely need it. You figure you'd make the second Green Goblin suit after the first one breaks. But he's so prepared. He's like, gotta make a couple of these. You never know. And,
might come in handy.
Yeah, and I'm going to make a silver one for fan service, I guess. And then also a paintball one.
Sell the toys. The toys. It's very important, right?
Oh, my gosh. This is, The fight between Harry and him is interesting. It does kind of... It's probably the only good Spider-Man fight in, like, New York ever, maybe? Where he's just, like, swinging around buildings and stuff. Because he doesn't do that with Green Goblin.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And he does it a little bit with Doc Ock, but he does it on a building and then they just fall onto the train. The train bit's great. But as far as, like, scenes where someone's just swinging around alleyways and... This is, like, the only time that's ever been put to screen.
Yeah, right? It's like, we finally figured it out.
It's so weird. Why is this true? There should be more than one of these. These movies are bad. There needs to be a lot of guys in Hollywood that have really simple jobs. And one of them should be a guy who Sony hires every time they write a Spider-Man movie to just go, by the way, none of this is in New York City. And then they go, oh, yeah, right. And then they fix it.
The only reason, they choose to use New York in these movies is like, oh my god, a big building could fall on someone.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thank God we're in New York as a setting. There's so many big buildings to fall. And
there's lots of New York in terms of like, oh my god, New York could be destroyed first in the list of things that, like in Dr. Octopus in the second one, he's going to destroy the whole planet. Electro's going to destroy the whole planet. New York is near the thing that's happening. So we keep flashing to people and like looking at cars. It's like, oh, New York is in trouble, but it's like New Delhi's in trouble too. The whole planet's in trouble.
Yeah. Don't be so myopic.
Yeah. What do you think of the Spider-Man? What do you think of the Green Goblin costume? What's the worst part of this? Is called, I believe, this is technically called the New Goblin, which is also terrible.
Gross.
What's the worst part of it?
What is the worst part of the New Goblin? That like the mask only covers like the bottom part of the face. I think it should be covering more face. I know it's like a weird like nitpick, but like
it's a weird paintball mask. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It does leave his hair available, like as if that was why the Green Goblin died, was because too much open air.
At least like in Winter Soldier, he's wearing like a like goggles, so like the weird paintball mask makes sense. But there's no goggles with this thing. It's like the part of the whole thing. It's
Are
like
there
mask.
Goggles? Am I crazy? I think there's goggles.
I think it's part of it though. It's a mask goggle combo.
Oh, sure.
I think they all like decompose.
Yeah, it's got that dumb bullshit where it like turns into a bazillion pieces and then
So like yes, there are
CGI.
goggles, but like not like as part of a set. Like I believe Winter Soldier's goggles were like separate, right?
Yeah,
he had like a weird paintball mask, but he also had goggles.
That's true.
So, small things, but I think meaningful, Nando.
I agree. I think it's a great point, DJ.
Oh, thank you.
I think my least favorite part is it is a snowboard now. The Goblin glider is so cool, and snowboards are lame. Not in real life, they're probably fine, but in goblining, it's never been done. I don't think in the comics before this where they were like, what if instead of this really cool glider thing, he drove a snowboard? Like, I think you could redesign the glider in general to make it a little bit more, I don't know, edgy or whatever they were going for here, and sell more toys. But, like, there's that one moment, and it just happens once, where Harry and Peter are fighting, and he goes to the alleyway, and Harry does some sort of little kick thingy onto it, and it turns into a skateboard. And you're like, oh, that's a slight value this adds. But besides that, it could just be another glider. It's so weird. Also,
Nando, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, also, the glider, like, the first glider feels like a big, dangerous thing. Like, it feels like, I feel like the sound effects of it is like a helicopter, just like, and it's coming, and it's got missiles and shit. And this one does really look like a snowboard with, like, fans from, like, a Razer, like, Alienware computer. There's nothing threatening about it. It's just lame.
That's fair.
I also don't like that he has a sword now. Not because I'm against swords, but I don't think he needs one.
It's an interesting choice.
It's weird. It's like he's already got the sword. It's also got like a lightsaberiness to it where it's kind of green and a little magic. Like it extends, I want to say. I can't remember.
There's like something techie about it.
I
remember exactly what.
Everything about him is a little over-designed. It's not great.
Yeah.
I also don't like that the pumpkin bombs are like heat-seeking missiles now. I don't know if they were always that, but I like that they're just little razors that you throw and can explode. But
they can potentially hurt you.
Yeah.
If you're not careful.
Yeah. It's so much weird shit about. I don't like his outfit. I don't like all the straps. There's lots of straps because it's nothing. Like, so they got to just like add shit. It's kind of like how in the Marvel stuff, everybody's got all kinds of vertical lines going everywhere to make their suits look interesting. But it's funny because he's just wearing pants. He's got a shirt with all kinds of shit on it and like little arm spikes, but just like, you know, baggy brown pants. Did you think he died when you saw it in theaters? When he got hit with the clothesline?
Oh, I believe I did. I'm like, wow, strong start.
Yeah. I also was like, oh, is this with the Venom? Is this why Venom's like mad at him? Or like why it's like, oh,
yeah.
Also, Harry goes to the hospital. Does he not? Did they also not find the goblin shit in his blood?
Like, why does this keep happening?
Yeah, what is this, fucking Malignant? Nobody checks? I guess he's just got
the worst doctors.
Yeah, because he went to the hospital knocked out from concussion. Like, he's fucking, they do all this, and also he's rich. They're gonna scan everything. He's getting the whole 9 yards. They're not skimping on Harry Osborn. What else was cool about this scene? I think that. Oh, I was going to say, I like the line where Harry's like, you killed my father. And Spider-Man's like, no. And he goes, liar! And it's like, you don't even care. You just want to beat up this guy. And I get it. He was a nerd in high school. And he's probably kind of weird now because, you know, he's just, you see what he does when he's cool. And he does like his little disco act. So there's a lot going on with this guy that we probably don't know about. But yeah, I don't think it just feels like this weird like ideological thing could exist where it's like you should have helped him, you shouldn't have killed him, but instead he's just like you're lying to me about what? What do you think he's lying about, Spider-Man or like Harry? Do you think he actually killed your dad on purpose? Do you know that your dad's the Green Goblin? Like, you know that right now. You saw the bit where your dad picked up all those kids and was like, I'm gonna kill all the kids in the little cable car. Was Spider-Man doing that? Like,
just too much rage, Nando. Too much rage.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, I think there's a movie, or like there's an argument where Harry's like, my dad was sick and you shouldn't have killed him, and then it's like, no, you don't understand. He gave me no choice. Like, that's something. But in this, it's just like, I am mad at you because you killed my dad, who is clearly evil, and I'm going to do all the same shit as him. I don't know. It's a weird movie. You know what else is weird about this movie? Something I thought about the other day.
Yeah?
And it's true of all of these Raimi movies. They are the whitest movies I've ever seen.
They are the whitest movies ever.
Not a non-white person to be found besides Robbie Robertson at the newsroom. It is like a fucking Abercrombie catalog in selling Friends merchandise, just as bad as it gets.
I mean, high society New York in mid 2000s.
I guess. Like, I feel like you could definitely in the 2010s and 2020s. I feel like you probably race swap one or two characters, at least minor characters, like your Gwen would be black or something, and that's something. But it's even just like I don't know. It's so weird. I'm trying to think who. It probably is Robbie as the highest profile person of color in these movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then also that guy who's like, he stole Spider-Man's pizza. Donnell Rawlings. He's pretty good, but that's the second one. But yeah, it's bizarre.
You had Asif Manvi in the second one also.
That's true. He fired him. Very powerful figure in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
He's the only character to ever defeat Spider-Man and rip his hat off. With a little sticker off his hat. So far. Yeah. Let's see. What else is interesting about these movies?
I have some nitpicks.
Let's hear them.
I guess it's like the second action beat of this movie. All right, so we got the crane scene.
Yep.
I don't think he hasn't been venomized yet because he's being like good Spidey. Or at least not black suit venomized. Which, by the way, I mean, we should talk about the Venom bits at some point because there's like a lot going on there. But I want to talk about this. Okay. There's a horrible crane accident because every Spider-Man movie has to have like a fucking construction equipment in New York City that's about to fail. So there's a crane like literally on the corner of a high rise, which, great stuff, guys. Mm-hmm. I'm sure OSHA looked at that and was like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
That's how we're doing this. It would be a good
place to put it. It would make it easier for when they want to disperse the crane. Like, what even happens? Do we ever see?
It's just like the power goes, and it's like the guy's like, I can't stop it. So it's just my first nitpick, right? So the crane's going all haywire, and it's like swinging like in like I-beam, like a steel I-beam, just like around crazy, and it's slamming into buildings. It's gonna kill Gwen Stacy, and he's like, kill the generator power. So then they go on the street, and Captain Stacy's there, and he's like, kill the power of the whole street. It's like, dummy, if it's on a generator, it doesn't matter if you kill the power of the whole street. Be a better captain, you idiot.
That's true. If anything, that'll make it harder for, like, firefighters to get there and stuff, because it'll just be gridlock. I mean, I don't know what firefighters are going to really do to help, but maybe they can help at some point.
It is funny that this is such a Spider-Man problem. It's like, oh no, if only we had someone who could get up there so quick and use high tensile web to just like fix everything.
Yeah.
But alas, the Daily Bugle says he's a menace.
He is a menace.
So I don't know, that seems like pretty unremarkable.
It's a weird scene because they don't kill Gwen Stacy.
No, they keep her alive.
Yeah.
And it leads to a part which I think is interesting, and I'd like to get your take on, Nando. So Spider-Man gets the key to the city, right?
Love it.
And he's like ready to go, right? And he talks with Mary Jane like beforehand. And they seem pretty good, right? And he goes to Mary Jane like, I'll be swinging in from there. And she's like, okay. And it seems to be like everything good, right? Because it was a little like hazy before, because Mary Jane was sad that she can't sing good enough to be in a Broadway play. So he swings in.
Get in line. Join the club, Mary Jane.
So he swings in, and Gwen Stacy's like, "This is Spider-Man, he saved my life." The crowd's going wild, and so he's hanging upside down like he does because he's Spider-Man, and the fucking crowd is like demanding that they kiss.
Yep.
Like, they are just like, make out, you fucks. And it's like, wow, this crowd's super horny.
Yeah, that's what that's the New York I like to see. I like this. Where's this in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I want characters to chant kisses and stuff.
But it's like, it's not like they're like, yo, you want to kiss? The crowd is like, make out with each other.
Yeah.
Like they're like going wild to for Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker to do it, right? So Peter goes, do it. They'll love it. And it's like, Peter, what the fuck is wrong with you? And she's like, really? He's like, yeah, they're going to fucking kick out of it. And then she proceeds to roll down his mask. And he should have been like, whoa. Over the mask, lady.
Right?
Let's not be too forward here.
And also, we're at Spider-Man Day Parade or whatever. I don't think the people want to see an absolutely just humongous kiss. Like,
right? So it's like, whoa, lady, slow down, over the mask. And then at least, like, Mary Jane could be like, oh, whatever, it was for show. But, like, they literally do the kiss that Mary Jane him to from Spider-Man 1. And, like, Mary Jane was like, what the fuck was that? And he's like, what? It was for show. And it's like, wow, this is, like, the most jerky form of Peter Parker. And he hasn't even been Venomed yet.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? He, like... Not like full on like cheated on his girlfriend because it was like, well, he knew she was there, but like the worst possible judgment you could possibly make.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a way you could do that scene alternatively is just have her want to do it or something. Have Gwen Stacy instigate the event just harmlessly, just like, oh, my hero, and like goes in for a kiss or something, and he doesn't not kiss, and she thinks he's single because why not? But then in this, he is like, kiss me, it's fine. And what I think is the weirdest detail that is she knows how to take the mask off. Like, it seems like it's just a one-piece suit. Like,
that's true.
There's seams you could see that I can't, Gwen, and maybe there are.
She's like, no, the neckline right here. This is
so obvious.
This is how we get it done.
And it seems like an awful kiss. I have thought about this before. I'm no fun.
I'm with you.
I guess it's fun because he's Spider-Man, like that's something. But as far as the actual, kiss, what's the word? Not value, but like the
actual making out, like mechanically, like is that?
Yeah, like the fun of the kiss. It seems like there's no fun.
Oh, I see.
She's getting a face full of like chin. Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
No, I'm with you.
He doesn't even have that great of a chin. It's not a bad chin. Also, I feel like Spider-Man, don't show anybody your chin. It's TV. What if they know? What if it's a really... that's definitely going to help. People will figure it out. Mm-hmm. Anybody who's like, I think this guy is Spider-Man is now going to have a chin to compare it to. And I guess maybe if anybody really cared, they would have seen him swing around as Spider-Man that day when he fought his friend. But still, they've no need. And like that is how you could do it too. Is she's like, I want to get a kiss from my hero, and he's like, okay, and then she pulls the suit, like the helmet back, and he's like, whoa. But then it's kind of too late, so he goes with it. But he is like, I feel like if that crowd wasn't there, it'd be a lot of Spider-Verse babies coming out with Spider-Gwen power. Yeah, it'd be a different story. I also think I don't want to I feel like I've said this a lot. I don't not like Kirsten Dunst in this role. I don't think these movies have ever given her anything good to do. I feel like, especially in this one, she just nags at Spider-Man or critiques him. But I feel like we never see their relationship just work. We go straight from end of movie to I love you now. Let's try to make this something. And then beginning of movie 3, this is a disaster for us both. And I don't think she has an amazing, I don't think Gwen has an amazing amount of chemistry with Toby. But I do kind of feel like the way I've always had Mary Jane explained to me is she's the hottest. Like that's her deal, right? She's like, she is a knockout, model basically. And then in this movie, she's attractive, but Gwen's the model now. And it's like, you guys, you should have switched them. Bryce Dallas Howard could have been Gwen Stacy. Mary Jane would have been or Bryce Dallas Howard could have been Mary Jane. Then
Kirsten Dunst
could have been, The hair colors match, obviously. One's naturally redhead, one's naturally blonde, and they swapped for the movie. But also
that's
just...
true.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's a very strange little fact. But also just it's almost like this movie is the first Spider-Man, right? It's almost, or like The Amazing Spider-Man, where it's like he is with Gwen Stacy. And then Mary Jane pops onto the scene, and it's a supermodel who is interested in... It's so weird how the dynamic is funky. And I don't know. I feel like this thing with him and Mary Jane, it's not working out. Whatever. They're friends from high school who tried something, and then they kind of became different people, and now,
And that happens in the comics all the time. All the time.
Yeah, and also when they want to do this story in the comics, have Gwen Stacy be Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat, because she's the sexy, dangerous love interest that kind of lures a Peter Parker who's lost his way, not Gwen Stacy. And I feel like then you could even then you could have him not like doing bad things, but like just, I don't know, be in a different space than like Gwen Stacy's just this kind of nice nothing girl. But like it would be kind of cool if there was like a, you know, this really flirty black cat who's, you know, Peter Parker doesn't really know what to do with, because this is like a nerd who has no game whatsoever, and he just became the biggest, like most, you know, attractive, cool thing on earth. Everybody loves Spider-Man. Everybody wants to give him kisses. And yeah, I feel like he should be like overwhelmed by that. And this movie treats this movie stinks. Nah, it's okay.
No, it stinks. No, it does stink.
Because
it misses the mark on so many of these things. And there are like a lot of missed opportunities, because I feel there's parts where it gets kind of close. Like, we've barely talked about Sandman because it doesn't matter at all. And it sucks that it doesn't matter. Because I'm not like, oh, Sandman needs to be in this movie. But like, I don't know, like one of my favorite comics or graphic novels, whatever, is the Neil Gaiman run of Sandman. I love it so much because I like love Neil Gaiman. And I think everything about it is just really good and takes the character of Sandman and just is like the most interesting take. And, you know, here it's like just wasted. And they also have to make him Uncle Ben's killer, which is dumb. And it's all these things where it's like, why are you wasting our time with all this like just dumb bullshit because you wanted to squeeze everything into this movie, like Venom and New Goblin and you know, Gwen Stacy and Sandman and everything, and it's just not needed. There are 7 different stories you could tell in this movie that would be like super competent, because I don't even know that this movie was that interested in wrapping up a Spider-Man trilogy, because it doesn't end the movie that way. It leaves the door open on like what could happen, right? Like maybe, you know, Mary Jane and Spider-Man like break up, but like they could get back together in the future. Like, my God, at the end of Spider-Man 2, and by the way, we didn't mention this, but the whole opening credits is like a little recap of Spider-Man 1 and 2, which is, you know, that's a little if you need help, folks.
Yeah, they did that in the first one too. Also, I have many things to say about what you just said, but also there was real quick. There was supposed to be a 4th one of these with the Vulture played by Ben Kingsley. So it was even envisioned as not the last one of these. Right.
But yeah, so like that's my rant. So please nitpick my rant to pieces. Just
okay, so I've only got one point, which I'm sure every single person that listens to this is like, I hope he says something about that. So,
what?
So the Sandman, right?
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman's Sandman is not this Sandman. They are different things.
I'm realizing that now.
Okay. Sandman is like a god and shit, and this is just like a guy. Like, I even think, I'm not positive about this, I'm pretty sure it's a DC property as well.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I also think
he did do Marvel 1690.
He did. He's written. I feel like he wrote that. He wrote 1602. He wrote Eternals. He's written for Marvel.
Yeah. Whoop. Yep. Totally. I fucking realized that.
No, but I would love it now if that was the Sandman in this. If you switched either of them. If the Sandman in because the Sandman book is the Sandmanish type character is called Dream, but if instead it was just Thomas Hayden Church with a stripy t-shirt on, scowling at everybody, and then in this, if instead of Thomas Hayden Church with a scowly t-shirt on, it was like not evil, but like a weird space, I don't even know what you'd call them, the Endless or like kind of celestial entity kind of things.
This has to go in the pantheon of things that I've messed up beyond all.
I'm
like, I've gotten countries wrong. This is like pretty epic.
This is wild. So hold on. Have you read Neil Gaiman's Sandman?
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously, right?
Yeah, just like Speed Racer.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so because that's the problem with Sandman, the actual one, Flint Marko, not the Endless. But like, I don't know much about him. When you started that sentence, I was like, oh, good, because I don't know a fucking thing. Like, because there's I do think there's a lot of supervillains. Most of the spider villains, at least in my memory, if you take one, you can kind of point to the one comic where they were very good. And this is true of all of them, I guess. But like with Dr. Octopus, if you want to pick one, you could look at his origin, or you could look at Superior Spider-Man when he killed Spider-Man and go like, that's good, Dr. Octopus. And what's his name? Goblin, you got when he killed Gwen Stacy. That's a good one. Craven's Last Hunt. Like, there's just a lot of them. And I think it's true of most comic supervillains, where it's like, you hear... I'm trying to think of like a recent one. What's a movie that's coming out soon? Like, you hear about like Carnage in a Venom movie, and you go,
sure.
There's like, the definitive Carnage is the one from the whatever it's called, something Protector. I want to say Great Protector, but that's the name of the dragon in Shang-Chi. But the Lethal Protector series or whatever, and you're like, that's the best Carnage story. I don't know what that is for Sandman. Like, I don't know if there's really that much to him besides just tough-ish guy. Because, like, Flint Marko is a, tough goon type who gets mutated with, I want to say, in the comics, it is like a full-on atomic bomb dropped on a beach, and he gets mutated with the sand. I don't know if he's in New York for it, or I can't remember. But whatever it is, I don't think he has all that much personality as far as all of the Spider-Man villains, because at least with the other ones with like Rhino or Venom or not Venom, well, Venom for sure, Rhino, or I was gonna say Scorpion or Electro, the ones that I don't have a real good register for from movies, like where you're like, if he shows up just in a video game and that's where you've met him first, you can see the movie or you see the video game and you kind of get a voice actor, and it's like Electro's usually like kind of a, I don't know, not a jokery type, but he's usually like high energy, and Rhino's always a Russian and tough and blah, blah, blah. I feel like you could get pretty much any actor to do Sandman, and he would be like, I'm going to get you Spider-Man with sand. So much so that, like, I don't even know if he usually even talks. Like, I'm sure he does, but, like, I don't know.
His vocal cords are probably sand.
Yeah, it's probably really
anything.
gravelly, sandy. He's also related to someone. I can't remember who. But his character has like a brother or some shit. It's great. Also,
I will say, no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
He is like the most powerful Spider-Man villain. I want to say, I was actually looking at something recently. It was like a definitive ranking according to like the Marvel handbook of all of the strengths of all of the characters. So like Thanos, the Living Tribunal, all the way down to like Mary Jane probably. And I remember noticing him in like the 100 tons range and being like, wow, way to go, Sandman. You're up here with like, the Juggernaut and shit. And like, he's one of the only Spider-Man villains that is markedly stronger than Spider-Man. Because most of them are as strong as Spider-Man or much weaker, but Spider-Man very graciously does not punch their heads off because he's a nice sporting man. So I don't know. I've never loved... Sandman looks cool in this movie, and I think the sand effects they do are fun, but I don't think he's a particularly compelling character in general, which is not bad, but I do think maybe if he I guess this all goes to say, I think if Sandman in this movie was a comic accurate Scorpion or something, where he does have more going on, or Lizard is the other one, you could write a movie around his like pathos and his his everything that's going on internally with him, and I'm a monster, whatever. And that's like enough of a movie that I feel like if Sony came around and was like, we got to put Venom in this, you'd be like, well, no, you see all this movie here I have. Here's all the scenes of Scorpion just sitting, talking to Spider-Man and whatever. But in this, I feel like you could have written this movie and then Sony would look at it and go, oh yeah, look, we got all this space for Venom. Perfect. We'll just cut out this scene where Flint Marko stares for a minute. Like, we don't need this. And so it's just like, I would have more sympathy if the villain in this movie was more compelling. And I know there's some people that are like, oh, it's very sad when he can't grab his daughter's locket. Sure. But also, it's pretty nothing. It's pretty,
and
just
it doesn't matter. And like, the movie doesn't like want you to, I don't know. Like, I don't think the movie like gives you any stakes. It's like, oh no, he has sick daughter. Okay, and like apparently he's a criminal also, I'm supposed to feel bad because he loves his daughter, the lowest barrier to like, not being the worst. I mean, it does feel kind of like a bad, not bad, because it's not bad, but just like a really weak, like, my
it'll destroy all of reality and my son. Kind of like, let's give him some personal stakes. I have a sad, sick daughter. And yeah, that's pretty boring. Also, I realized there's the connection I was trying to make, which I don't think exists, would have been with Juggernaut, because Juggernaut, Sandman's name is Flint Marko, Juggernaut's name is Kane Marko. I don't believe they're related, but I'm looking it up now because I'm so curious. But
I thought Juggernaut was related to Xavier.
He is. He's Xavier. Well, he's Xavier's stepbrother. So it's like you could see a world, because his Xavier's mom married Juggernaut's dad, and so I could see a world where, like, that would be so funny if, like, he just shows up, like, to a fight or something, and it's like, oh yeah, Sandman, I saw you at the reunion the other day. We're related, isn't that something?
Strongest guys ever reunion.
Yeah, but actually, his name is not Flint Marko. Apparently, his name is William Baker. I did not know this. But I guess Flint Marko might be like his crime name or something. I don't know. I'm wondering.
It's good to have a crime name.
You need to have a crime name, especially if your name is Sandman, as we've made very clear. A very common name that every around the block there's a Sandman or two. But you want to have a good crime name as well.
I hope Diggins listens to this, and it's a shame he's not here. And you know what's killing me? It's like I'm dying on the inside. I'm like, I'm ruined.
I just hope all of our listeners go out and make fan art of the one of either flipping the characters. Mostly it would be Dream in the middle of like getting like with a bunch of bags of money or something, trying to rob a bank in the subway.
So like, is this new Kurt Russell Crowe, or is this like
the Kurt Russell Crowe thing? This is a new level, because this is I don't know what this is. It's we'll find out soon. It'll be terrific.
It's built on an incredible lie. I think that's what this one. Oh God.
Yeah, you should sue Dominion. That's what you should do. That's the best way to get out of this, you know. Just sue Neil Gaiman and say that he actually invented Flint Marko back when he was but a child of -10 or something. And then you teach the controversy. That's what I think we should do. That's what you should have done. Honestly, as far as lies go, double down. You know, just like, no, there's actually another comic. It wasn't released.
Yeah, no, Neil Gaiman
crossover where the Sandmen team up to kill Spider-Man. and Spider-Man.
And whoever the Sandman
like
villain or whatever.
And the other super beings.
Happens.
I'll be honest, I've never read Sandman. I have the audiobook, and I started listening to it because the audiobook came out recently, and it's got all kinds of famous people, and it's like James McAvoy, and it's good, and the comic is supposed to be very good. I liked 1602, and I like some of Neil Gaiman's stuff. But like American Gods and like what's the other one? It's the one that they just did, Good Omens. Like I always find them fun, but a little like, I don't know, not my speed dialogue wise. There's always something about them that's just I like him, but it's just a little too much. Not my thing.
It's insane too, because I've read a ton of Neil Gaiman. Like I've read American Gods, Marvel 1602, Anansi Boys. Like it's like nuts, like how much I do like him, but just like had to come up with it. No, I'm not lying.
I mean,
that, you know,
your birthday present just bought itself. I am on Amazon right now. But
Nando, I'm such a fan that I read his Flint Marko Spider-Man.
Oh
run.
My God, I didn't even know they made that. They should have made that.
And I am.
I mean, to be fair,
no.
There's not a lot of other characters like that where there's just another Dr. Octopus bopping around, but he's an actual octopus and he like does open heart surgery and he exists in like some really, really completely disconnected alternate manga verse, and it's like, yeah. And to also be fair, Sandman's a boring name. Like, I don't like Sandman. I don't like Hydro Man. I like when Spider-Man's villains are animals. I think that's fun.
What do you think of Electro?
I don't like Electro either. I think Electro's too powerful. And I like, you know, obviously Green Goblin. I hate Venom. I don't like any of the symbiotes. I think they're all stupid. Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Lizard, Vulture, Rhino. I'll put Shocker in there because I enjoy him. Who else in there? Who else is good? That's it. Those are the only good ones. All the other Goblin variants, the Jackal, the one who did all the cloning and everyone hates. But like all the Spider-Man villains, like Electro, it's like, I don't know. They all seem like they should be punching. They're punching like under their. They should believe in themselves and they can achieve more. They can kill Iron Man if they want. They don't need to kill Spider-Man. They don't need to rob banks. Why does Electro rob banks? Why doesn't he just plug himself into a circuit and sell the power? Like,
hold the nukes hostage or whatever by going into everything's electricity.
Like, it's just like, yeah. And I guess I also like Mysterio just because he's kind of weird. But, yeah, I remember thinking about this the other day, trying to figure out who the third best Spider-Man villain is. Because I feel like most people will say 1 and 2 are
Doc Ock, Green Goblin.
Doc Ock, Green Goblin, in some order. Yeah. And then the other ones, it's like, they're all kind of tied.
Hard.
Yeah. I think you can make the case for Kraven just as having a seminal, like, Spider-Man great story, and also being, like, he hasn't been in movies, so you could kind of say, like, if he got his moment, it would be clear that he's the best, or, like, he's one of the greats. But as far as the comics goes, like, Kraven's up there. And then, like, the other one's, like, I don't know.
It's hard, because I feel like Vulture is hit or miss depending on, like, where you're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Vulture's fun. I don't think his gimmick is exciting enough for me. Okay. I like his gimmick when it's not just flying, it's also he sucks the life out of you with his talons to like de-age himself. I think that's kind of fun. But just as like old man with a flight suit, I was like,
yeah, that's like the worst part.
What are we doing
also, like,
here?
where does exclusivity come into play? Like, because like you wouldn't say like Kingpin, right? Like that.
I would say I'd say Kingpin's up there. I think you could make the case for Kingpin.
Oh, he'd be my number 3 then, like easy if we could count Kingpin.
I would say if Lizard had more storylines that I really are like ones in the comics that I was like, this is awesome. It should be Lizard because he has a personal relationship with Peter Parker, and that's interesting. Yeah. But I don't think it's never like, I don't know, that they've never been connected enough as like an actual, he's never felt like an actual villain. He's always like, oh, I'm a villain, and then he's cured, and then he's good. So it's like, I need a little something more. I think there's a lot about Scorpion that works if he's written well. Yeah. Where he is like a guy who's just trapped in a weird scorpion suit by J. Jonah Jameson, and he hates his life, and like, that's kind of fun. And he's got a big old evil tail. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Speaking of characters that don't have tails, Sandman. He's got big old fists. What'd you think of the fists?
I actually thought all of Sandman was bad in this movie.
What?
Nothing of Sandman.
Not even the effects? You didn't like any of the...
Fine.
I think the effects were pretty good. And not the end, in the beginning, though. In that first scene where he is fighting him in a armored car or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, I think what the problem was is, like, there's only so much you could do with this villain. And, like, what's nuts is, like, Spider-Man goes to lengths to, like, kill him before he's Venomized. That, like, man, would he really be doing this? Like, he rams his face to a subway car. Well, that would kill any other person.
He's Venomized at that point, right?
God, I cannot remember. So
I'm pretty sure, because I think that fight between him and Venom in the subway is like the moment where that's his first like Breaking Bad, like, he's going too far. Because he's also, that's the scene where he's like, because I also think that's like the first indication that sound is bad for him or something. It's like he gets like whacked against the train and he kind of loses it for a second. Okay. But I don't remember. I'm pretty sure. I think there's a fight between Black Suit Spider-Man and Sandman, and it's got to be that one, because then after that they don't fight anymore because the movie forgets about Sandman.
They love it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the part where he puts on his classic T-shirt to go do Sandmanning? I like that part.
I love when he visits his sick daughter, and the wife is like, "Get the fuck out." And he puts on classic Sandman, and I just think it's so great.
Yeah. It's like...
What a shitty apartment having to be right next to the subway, by the way. Like,
oh, my God. Yeah, that's going to be tough. I mean, it's New York, and the rent's probably still insane.
Yeah, they probably have a rent control department of $100 to live in that fucking...
Oh my gosh, that'd be terrific. You should sell that apartment somehow. It's for the surgeries. You probably can't sell a rent controlled apartment, but can you?
I don't know how that works. I knew someone once at like an old job at a rent controlled apartment, and it was very much like, yeah, I have this because like it's got to stay in the family, and they will not lose this. So,
yeah, I guess that's true. If it stops being rent controlled, then it is no longer... Like, yeah, you can't just transfer ownership. Yeah, what else is fun in this movie? Remember the bit with Topher Grace?
Oh my god, what am I forgetting?
Topher Grace, the best guy. Remember him?
No. What is
Topher Grace? Like that's his name, right? The Venom kid? The actor who's like little spiky hair Venom.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, from like the KKK guy from the Black Klansman movie. Also from That 70s Show, but I've never watched that, so I've been told.
Oh my god, that was Topher. Jesus Christ, I am off it. I'm spiraling, Nando.
They got all the toes. They got Toby. They got Topher. All the weird names that start with toe.
No, I've truly lost my way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Topher Grace was fine. God, I can't believe that was him. Oh my god.
I think I don't like. I feel like when it came out, everybody was like, "This kid's too small to be Venom," and we were all right about that as well.
I'm so right.
But he definitely also isn't the other thing he's going for, which is like some sort of like cool guy, because he has really lame little 2000s-y spiky hair, and that does not work for me as a actual threatening guy.
Yeah, agreed.
But he also doctors photos, so that's something.
Oh, what a monster.
Yeah, no one should do that. That would be bad.
So, what did I think of Topher Grace? I gave out big meh.
Yeah, he's okay. I think in a movie where, like, we know he's a good actor now because he does good acting sometimes.
Yeah.
So in a movie where he's the main guy and like they actually give him some time to, not even the main guy, but just the main villain, there's something there. But
yeah, I think probably the biggest problem with this movie is like no one got enough time in like the huge, like cast of like whatever of everything that's going on. Like I don't even know if, like the poorly written Venom stuff, like how much that sits it over the edge. But the fact that we have to butt in for like, oh, here's the Harry B plot, here's the Sandman C plot, and here's the fucking Venom D plot, like whatever, that we're like butting in everywhere. It's just so discordant that you're just kind of bouncing around. You don't know what to follow. And I don't know like what mode Peter's in at any given moment. And we like barely talked about this, but Sandman killed Ben.
Yeah.
And why? Just why?
I hated that.
It was
I remember
done. We wrapped it.
Yeah, like that's the point, kind of, is that Spider-Man, Uncle Ben was killed by just a random guy. Like it's a completely random incident of crime that Spider-Man had the power to stop, did not. And now he feels guilty about it. But what if instead that guy was also a supervillain? Then that would be interesting.
Nando, did you say what if?
What if instead of, like, they should do a what if where instead of this, it's not like the first Spider-Man, it's Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman. And he just uppercuts Uncle Ben with a big hammer fist. That's how Uncle Ben dies. That'd be pretty good. Yeah. Where are we going with this? Yeah, there's too many plots. I don't know which one I hate the most or which one is the least important. I don't like any of them.
It's the Harry. I think the Harry is like first ballot Hall of Famer. Awful. I think it has to be. Because like, for one, it's like the James Franco retrospective. But for two, it's creepy in its own right and bad creepy. It's so bad creepy.
Yeah, the idea that his whole thing, he's got this like little kind of jokery thing where it's like, I'm going to destroy your life, Peter Parker. And that amounts to, I'm going to maybe kill you if you go to my house. But also, I'm going to make Mary Jane break up with you as per like some agreement we have. Like him and Mary Jane break up and he cries a lot. And that scene's terrible. And I didn't like that scene when I first saw it in that moment. But then when she walks by Peter or Harry and he's like, is this enough? And he's like, yes, you've done a good job. That I think maybe was where this movie completely lost me.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck does he think he is? Is he the fucking like Blofeld of Spider-Man now. She's gonna destroy his marriage.
Yeah,
Ugh.
and like
it's not a marriage, but proto-marriage.
Yeah, and like the beginning of the movie. At Mary Jane's play, Peter's so excited.
Oh my god, yeah.
To see his girlfriend. And he's sitting in like Harry's sitting in the balcony with his fucking binoculars.
Little
being
opera
like,
glass.
yes,
Yeah.
I will tear her apart. Or like whatever the fuck that shit was.
That was great.
Yeah, the Harry stuff's the worst. When he has amnesia, like I can't remember Alfred's name, but Alfred, do I have a girlfriend?
No, yeah.
What the fuck?
It's a name like Alfred, but it's not Alfred. You're right. It's he says it a couple of times too, so I should remember this. But
Bernard,
yeah, that's right.
Bernard?
It is Bernard. Yeah, and
Bernard, do I have a girlfriend? Like, ugh, God,
and then he's
this
like,
is terrible.
He gets a bit where he catches his little catches the vase, and he's like, I have superpowers. No, you don't, or do you? I don't know. What your superpowers are really vague, and the doctors didn't see them, so I actually don't think you do. I'm not sure what you can do, buddy.
Lucky catch. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just caught something pretty well. But, yeah. How about emo Peter Parker?
I don't hate this as much as, like, the internet has memed it and said, you must hate this because it's bad.
I think we used to, but we've, as the internet, as the mayor of internet, I think we've come around on this. I do.
Oh, yeah, have we, Mr. Mayor?
I have. I do. I think there's been, like, a move of, like, it was corny, but it was kind of in the style of what people liked about these movies. So, like, it's hard to, like, Willem Dafoe in his little Power Rangers outfit and be like, this is stupid when he has different hair. Like, it's all pretty cheesy.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So yeah, what do I think emo Peter Parker? I thought like it was fine. Again, the over the toppiness is like when it's like, oh god, he's abusing his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, he gives her a big old smack, and it's a mistake, but also it's an insane move for this movie to make.
Yeah,
and he's also about to kill someone else at this club, so like he does hit her, and I think there's a case to be made that it's like, well, I wasn't like hitting you, I was trying to beat up anyone that came into my field of view, but that's also its own problem.
But Nando, what if it was a Malignant situation?
But if, oh my god, I mean, this movie is pretty much Malignant. Like, not to spoil Malignant. Well, I mean, what's Malignant really? It's about, well, I mean, how is,
all right.
he is possessed by a something that makes him something.
Okay.
I hate, I think this movie has Malignant definitely draws on elements of Spider-Man 3. You remember that scene where the lady from Malignant did finger guns and stuff?
I do.
I feel like the movie has two minds about it. It thinks Spider-Man is both, like, Black Suit Spider-Man is both a cool hunk that people like and not that. Because there's the bit in the jazz club where everybody's like, ooh, look at this guy. Then there's also the bit where he's like on the street sliding around making faces at women and they're giving him like, ugh. Yeah, I feel like it's got to be one or the other.
Agreed.
And I think in the beginning, when we saw this, we all thought of it as the first, like as the ew thing, because it was just so embarrassing. And it is, but I think if the movie treated it played it completely straight, and was just like, everybody is just like, wow, Peter Parker, real tough guy, it would work and be cool.
Yeah, I can see that.
What else was good? Did the alien teach him how to play piano? He can play piano
I guess
now.
So.
Yeah. They got pianos on Clintock or whatever the symbiote homeworld is.
Fucking thing is. Can we talk about the symbiote in a specific sense? And by that, I mean the sense where Dr. Connor is analyzing the fucking thing.
Yeah, he puts it under a glass. He's like, this is an alien monster. It feeds on rage. Spider-Man's like, that's interesting, isn't it?
He knew that immediately. And I have questions for Dr. Connors.
I mean,
like, how do you know that?
Yeah, I feel like if anything, I'd be like, this probably has something to do with that Sandman guy. I'm not saying it looks like him or anything, but I think this might be from Tar Man or something like that. Like, we just have these guys made of particle effects blobbing around this city in big old swarms and stuff. This is probably a different one. And it is an alien in this, which is interesting because it's not like in Venom, it is an alien as well, and it comes on like the flight. In the comics, he gets it on Battle World or whatever it is during Secret Wars is like the first time the black suit shows up, and it's like from space, and it just kind of hitches a ride back, I'm pretty sure. But in this, it's just like meteor hits Central Park, walks over to Spider-Man's house, and gets in Spider-Man. It's like, where's the lucky little meteor?
Yeah.
To find the one superhero that exists. But
also very patient. Hitches a ride on Peter Parker's scooter.
That's true,
and doesn't do anything. So,
What did you think of this? I think the suit itself looks okay when it's black. I don't like the Venom suit, but I like the black suit.
Yeah, that was fine.
I feel like if I knew Spider-Man, if it was like the Spider-Man world, and then one day it's like, look, he's got a black suit, and I'm like, God, they're trying to sell toys. Like, what is this? We just had Spider-Man Day with all the red and blue balloons. Yeah. Why did he change his outfit? And then I'd be like, why is it red and blue actually? I'd be like, black makes more sense, so that's fine, I guess.
That's how he sneaks around at night.
Honestly, like, I don't want him to get seen by the villains he's trying to fight. It's probably a liability to him. We also learned that he doesn't wear underwear under the suit, I guess?
Yeah, I guess.
He's all naked when it rips it off. So, like, I guess that makes sense.
Gets too hot.
Yeah. I mean, the symbiote suit can usually, change, like, appearances. So, it, like, can make you look, like, it could just turn into clothes if it wants. Kind of like how Vision can just, like, morph. It can, like, do that. So that's pretty good, I guess. And and it's got scary little teeth when it's a person, and it gives Topher Grace scary little teeth.
So does it become like a Spider-Man suit because it latched onto Spider-Man first or whatever?
Yes, I believe so, except then probably not in the comics because there have been multiple. Well, here's the thing. So, like, I don't know. Like, Venom looks like Venom because of Spider-Man. Because it...
Right.
Carnage has the same eyes, but not the, like, little Spider-Man insignia that Venom has. So it's like, so not all the... And I guess Carnage is a part of Venom as well, because he's like an offshoot of Venom that mixes with the blood of Cletus Cassidy in jail. Sorry, my cat's giving me little bites in my ankles.
Cute.
He wants attention. I'm going to pick him up. But what was I gonna say? They did an event recently that I have not read yet called The King in Black, and was part of Donny Cates' new Venom thing. And in that, I think what it seems like they did is they introduced some sort of symbiote god or something named Null, and he also has that insignia on his chest. So maybe it's just and he's like supposed to be an old, another one of the bazillion Marvel ancient super beings or something. So I don't think he also got it from Spider-Man. So maybe it is just like a symbiote thing. I don't know. I'm curious. I think it doesn't make any sense in Venom, except for just that they all also happen to look like Spider-Man, a guy that doesn't exist. Or maybe he does. Who knows? It's up to Sony. But
do you think we'll see him in Venom?
Probably.
Spider-Man? Yeah. Okay.
I do. I've heard rumors, not rumors, but I've heard like reports that there's something in it that's very surprising or something.
Oh.
And unless it's like I don't even know what could be that's not Spider-Man. Like, I don't think anybody would give a shit if it's Morbius. I don't think anybody would give a shit if it's like, I guess maybe if like Mysterio showed up, you'd be like, that's pretty surprising. Or like maybe a straight up like, Captain America or the Falcon or whatever just like is in there. But I feel like it's kind of if there's anything surprising in that, it's got to be Spider-Man. Unless it's like something else, like, the moon landing set video, and it's like, we try to put this into a movie, so we figured Venom's the right spot for it. It's real, guys. And by it's real, I mean it's fake. But, I feel like there's going to be a crossover at some point, and then he'll be like, oh, you kind of have a spider on your chest, and Venom will be like, yeah, it's a coincidence. And then we'll all go, yeah, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
It will make it weird, though, when he does eventually get the black suit, when Spider-Man gets the black suit from Venom, I guess. Or would he just get a different symbiote? Because the symbiote is the Venom one. So I guess if Venom shows up in this universe, I think we'll just skip all the black suit Spider-Man stuff, which is probably fine. But it's a little weird. That's the only problem with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you know what? Maybe it would be surprising if J. Jonah Jameson showed up. In fact, that would work. Yeah. Yes. Just have him show up and be like, I'm offering you a job. Come to New York. Also, what do we think of J. Jonah Jameson in this movie?
I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like the worst of the three performances, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because it's just his gag is too many pills. He's got so many pills and phones and stuff.
And he yells too much.
Yeah. Like, he's like, I don't know. It's weird. I like it when...
This isn't why we like him. guys.
Yeah, like I feel like he peaked when he called the caterer and canceled at the wedding, which is at the end of the last movie.
Yeah.
But I don't understand what the relationship between J. Jonah Jameson, John Jameson the son, Mary Jane, John Jameson's ex-fiance, and Peter Parker, Mary Jane's new boyfriend / J. Jonah Jameson's photographer is.
Yeah.
Does J. Jonah Jameson know about Mary Jane?
Yeah, right?
John Jameson, like, oh my God, you'd never believe it. She's dating a photographer for the Daily Bugle. Isn't that something? But
like, what?
Yeah,
Parker!
it would be like that scene in fucking what's that movie? Oh God, we like this one, right?
I am failing to.
The one 22 Jump Street. Where we learn that where it's like he's dating the boss's daughter. It'd be like that, where J. Jonah Jameson just sees Peter Parker and Mary Jane dating, and he like loses his mind.
Yeah,
because
that would be like.
Yeah, it's a really awkward situation. Like, what would happen? What would happen if Peter Parker did get married to Mary Jane? He'd have to invite J. Jonah Jameson, or at least Robbie or someone from the Bugle, and then be like, it would be bizarre.
These are my coworkers, I think.
I also just think it's insane that Mary Jane was going to marry an astronaut. Like, it's just so insane to me that an astronaut is part of these movies, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it is, like, a thing.
Also, she probably should have.
Yeah, he seems nice.
I mean, I know it's not Peter Parker, but...
Peter Parker's the worst. Yeah, exactly. Plus, like, I think in the Venom verse, John Jameson dies in that space accident. Like, we do know that character is dead. In this movie, he's not dead. But in the comics, he becomes Man-Wolf, a supervillain powered by the moon. So that's also fun,
That is fun.
Yeah. Maybe we get a Man-Wolf spinoff. We get a fucking Jared Leto Morbius spinoff. We've deserved Man-Wolf.
Yeah, right?
It's too many vampires, not enough werewolves in pop culture.
If Twilight taught us anything.
Exactly. Apparently we are getting a werewolf. Werewolf by Night is another Marvel like werewolf character. Apparently he is getting a some sort of Disney Plus Halloween special next year. So maybe there's room there for whoever the actor who played John Jameson was. What else is good about this movie?
I don't think there's anything else good. I think we said all the compliments. I mean, we did say a lot of the not compliments too, but
I think it's strange in this movie that they don't kill Aunt May. I figure by this point,
yeah,
kill her,
And she does very little work in this movie. She gives the whole when Peter was like, "Yo, give me credit for Spider-Man killing Uncle Ben's killer," and she's like, "What? That doesn't sound like Spider-Man." He's like, "What do you mean it doesn't sound like Spider-Man?" It's like, I think you know what she means, dipshit.
Yeah.
He's not a cold-blooded murderer.
And she also has that story about how we were at the beach and whatever, and your Uncle Ben proposed to me, and blah, 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 blah. I liked her in the other ones. I think she's fine in this, but there's a point where these movies kind of need to... And maybe this is the other problem with Spider-Man 3. I think the Spider-Man movies and the character Spider-Man needs to move past. Kind of the same way that, like, if every Superman movie keeps going back to Smallville, it's like, this guy's got other stuff to do. I feel like this movie, it's like, there's all this Harry baggage and all this Mary Jane relationship drama, and it's just like, I just want a movie where he's Spider-Man, and he's, got a working relationship, and he's got a new villain, and let's see what that's like. And maybe that's what Spider-Man 4 would have been like, but yeah, there's parts of this movie that just feel like we're playing the hits of the first two Spider-Mans, and I don't care for it.
I think 2 got there the closest, because at least 2 was like, oh, he's trying to do this thing, and he's just the moment with MJ, and like I think 2 got it the closest.
And Dr. Octopus is just some guy. Like, he knows Spider-Man, he knows Peter a little bit, but he's not like Spider-Man's grandfather or something. He's just like a man who is doing bad science.
Yeah, and he's like, do better, Peter, because like Peter's kind of a schmuck at the beginning of the movie, and he's like kind of getting lectured, but like you're rooting for Doc Ock because you're like, oh, he's right, Peter's being a schmuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to be Spider-Man. You can't do all your homework and be Spider-Man. I didn't do all my homework, and I wasn't even Spider-Man. So why would I expect Spider-Man to do all his homework? Yeah. What you think of the end of the movie where they all fight a bunch?
It's horrible. It's horrible. First of all, it's a big CGI mess. Beyond that, it's like, I don't know, I think it's kind of dumb. Like, we get Topher Grace's, like, weird. He's like, come on, Spider-Man. I'm here for you, Parker. Harry has to come in to help, like, save the day. Which, by the way, my proposed rewrite, so DJV movies. All right, so here's what we do. Ready? You take Harry out of the movie completely. I don't know, kill him at the beginning, do something brave, like, whatever. Make it interesting. Then you have, some of the Sandman stuff with Spider-Man, it's not that Sandman's too powerful during the movie. It's that, he keeps escaping. Like, Sandman's best thing is that it makes him escape easier. And Peter's like, oh, God damn it. And so close. And at some point, he's like, listen, Flynn Marco, it's like, you gotta go. It's like, it's my daughter, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, no, but you gotta atone for your crimes. And he never killed Uncle Ben. That thing's not in there at all. And he flees. And Venom's just too powerful because, oh my God, Venom's so powerful. And then Sandman comes to rescue, and it's like, I want to be the hero my daughter wants me to be. Very much like Suicide Squad, or, both Suicide Squads, whatever. And then it's like, oh my God, my dad's the hero I want to be. She could, see him on TV, and the wife's like, oh my God, that's Flint. He's helping Spider-Man. And then it could have been that instead, and it would have been better and less bad. And they should have done that. There's my rewrite.
I feel like the Sandman Spider-Man Venom triangle is not a triangle until that one scene where Venom's like, you should also be a bad guy. And Sandman's like, I guess so. And that's, I think, where I'd say, there's a lot of parts of this movie that just, don't work because, they're kind of silly or ill-conceived or whatever. But that's the bit where I feel like that structurally is the weakest bit of the movie, where it's like the ending, everything at the end is motivated by two of the villains being like, what a coincidence, we should both team up to do bad guy stuff. And they don't even do anything. It's not like I could see a version of this movie where Venom's like, hey, I get it, Spider-Man keeps foiling your crimes, here's what we'll do, I will tie up Spider-Man in bullshit and you can just rob all the banks. And it's fine, because you just gotta help me catch him and then run and leave. And don't, the fact that I think Sandman as a character has some scenes in the beginning that make him a little bit like, oh man, this guy's kind of conflicted, whatever. Then I don't think I ever really bought it, but that's what they're going for. But then when he's just using his giant hammer fist to beat the life out of Peter Parker, a person he knows is a normal guy, because he understands, well, I guess he doesn't know he's a normal guy, but I feel like he has to be I'm not saying Spider-Man's the villain, but the Venom guy, who's definitely a villain, wants to kill Spider-Man, so he's at least neutral at best. But the fact that he goes from just beating Spider-Man to death in front of everybody to Spider-Man's forgiving him, it's you can forgive him for killing your uncle, I guess, but he's still at his heart a really fucked up dude. He is willing to murder a Spider-Man just because he doesn't like you. It's not even part of a plan. Venom's just we should do this. So that sucks. That's not good.
It does suck, and it isn't good. You're right.
I feel like they didn't do nearly enough work to make Sandman sympathetic. He's not even a dumb guy who's getting manipulated or anything like that. He's just a human sand machine that various characters can point at whatever they want and make it do sand at them. But then when at the end of the movie it's this very tearful, sad moment, I just, don't buy it one bit.
Agreed.
What about all the stuff with Venom v Spider-Man?
I don't know. It the fights were okay. It weren't creative enough. The idea that Spider-Man, the way you do this is oh my God, I'm fighting myself. This is so hard. It's we're not doing that. Yeah,
and I feel like they have the setting for this fight was also very boring as just a construction site. Again, this would have been another fun fight to see in New York, to see Spider-Man try to fight another guy who swings and webs and stuff. Especially since in the beginning of this movie, we had Harry fight Spider-Man, right? Which is Harry should, in theory, if the movie was good, be have patterned himself as pretty much the Spider-Man destroying machine. Like, he should have counters to everything Spider-Man does built into his suit. And he kind of does, because he has a sword and, like, those little arm thingies you can use to cut webs. But, like, it should be better than that. Like, if that first fight should definitely end with Spider-Man losing or just barely getting away. But the fact that, like, so Harry should be, like, the Spider Slayer, like, this just absolute unit. So then you have the end of the movie where now, oh God, now Harry's a good guy. And, oh, cool, because now he could kill the evil Spider-Man. Like, he's perfect for that. And it's, now that I'm thinking about it, that is one of the weirder things about this movie, is that like, the end fight isn't Harry versus Venom and Spider-Man versus Sandman. Harry goes and fights Sandman.
Yeah.
I guess it's because we've already seen a Spider-Man beat up Harry, so what's going to happen here? And I guess, like,
by the way, twice.
That's true, because he beats him up in the room, too. Yeah.
And, like, makes his face all ugly.
Yeah, Harry's a loser. And also, like, when Spider-Man's being mean to Harry, he's not even that mean. You know, he doesn't even throw the pumpkin bomb at Harry. Harry throws it at him, and he throws it back. So, like, this Spider-Man, he doesn't really do anything all that terrible besides be a jerk at a bar one day. Everything else is and like, well, but that's part of the bar thing. Like, it's not like like outside of that incident, all of the things where it's like he's taking everything too far. It's like, I don't know, he's yelling at the guy who's editing pictures, and he's flirting with this girl, but also he's broken up with, so, like, whatever. He's beating up Sandman more than before, and then he's going to fight Harry, but, like, Harry's 100% trying to kill him at that moment. It's different if Harry has gone the other way, and Harry had his little revelation, and he kind of wants to apologize, and Toby's, and, like, Spider-Man's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm tired of you.
Like, I'm killing you, motherfucker.
There's something wrong in your little goblin brain, and you need to die, like, but...
What's wrong, goblin boy?
Yeah. But instead, it's like, it's a totally even fight that, again, Harry just loses. And, then Harry shows up at the end and loses another fight. Gets stabbed by his own glider. Ugh. Remember when he got stabbed?
How poetic. He died like his father did, but this time he made the sacrifice to save MJ. Ooh.
Yeah. What a fucking amazing... Where does the snowboard have room for spikes? I feel like there's a lot of things that are in the snowboard that I don't buy, but the spikes seem like such a, like, obviously we don't have like, we got so much fucking battery power and all kinds of shit. We don't have room for spikes, but just put the spikes on the outside, or just no spikes. Like, I assume Harry built this thing, right?
I mean, yeah, you do think.
Because there's no way Green Goblin built it and then just left it there. So, like, Harry must know he got stabbed by a glider. Why is he like, nah, I know it didn't work for my dad, but
shit, son.
Yeah, I think I can do spikes on my glider. Also, your dad's spikes were way cooler. His glider sucks. What else? Then they beat Venom with magic sound.
With sound.
Yeah, I like that Venoms have weaknesses and that they're two really easy things to get.
Sorry, I just think I remember that's, like, so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So when Peter's, like, deciding to shred the Venom costume.
Oh, yeah.
And Eddie Brock goes to church. He goes, please, God, I only have one prayer today. Will you please kill Peter Parker? And it's like, bruh, I don't think you're very religious. Because that's not how that works.
But, to be fair to Eddie, he prays for that, and then a big, giant monster that gives him the power to kill Spider-Man shows up. So, I don't know if in his brain there was ever any doubt, but if there was, you'd be like, well, actually, it does seem like God wants me to kill Spider-Man at this moment. So, like, maybe I'm dealing with Old Testament God, and Spider-Man's got some sort of other thing going on, and, like, I'm just the devil, like... The devil's taking control of Spider-Man. So, like, he gave me a big evil suit to kill Spider-Man with. I should do that.
This is that fucking Book of Job shit.
Yeah.
Going fucking crazy up in here. Oh, my God.
It makes total sense. I like Spider-Man in this movie as Black Suit Spider-Man. And I like Venom as a jerk. I don't think, like, the idea that Venom, that Eddie Brock gets mixed with the Venom symbiote and becomes evil. Like, we already see it brings the evil out of you. He is way too evil already. So, like, the idea of giving him the Venom suit, I don't know. It feels almost like redundant. I want to give a different character the Venom suit. Give the Sandman Venom suit. That'd be kind of interesting.
Sure.
You know, you turn this guy into a big like, because the Sandman's all like, oh, I don't want to kill. But it's like, now he does want to kill. Isn't that something? Because Sandman... He really should, like, be fucking shit up. He should be picking up buildings and throwing them at Spider-Man. And he just kind of stands around like a Godzilla, and then that's it. Like, that's his biggest feat of accomplishment.
He could probably be even taller than he already is.
Yeah. He could go to Coney Island or something. Suck up all that sand. Also,
my God, yeah.
like, how much sand? So there's sand on a construction site, I guess. But, like... he's so tall. There has to be so much sand there unless he's hollow. But he isn't, because Harry explodes him with missiles and then it breaks apart. But, like, you can see that there's Sandman inside there. But yeah, that's weird.
Maybe he used the sand that's in the air, Nando.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, all that air sand.
Well, yeah, maybe. I wonder if he could just, like, with the rats, just, like, put his hand on the ground and just summon all of the sand from the beach and there'd be big sand. Yeah, I don't know. There's an X-Men named Dust, and her thing is like sand power, but she's not made of sand. But I wonder if they fight. I wonder if they've ever fought. If she could control him, or if he can control, like, because he is the sand. I don't know. Yeah, this movie's weird. Other thoughts. I'm
trying to think if there's any other nitpicks. Oh, I got a small one, and I can't believe I noticed this, but. So there's several times where between Peter and MJ, they're like broken up or whatever. And, you know, Peter keeps like calling and leaving messages. And so one time, so the first one, MJ goes, "This is MJ, leave your message at the beep," or like sing your song at the beep.
Yeah.
Beep. And she goes beep. Second time, she goes, "This is MJ, sing your song at the beep." And then it goes to like the machine beep. She doesn't beep herself. I cannot believe I noticed this, but it is something that I noticed.
That's weird.
But it must have just done multiple takes and like no one caught it, right? Because that's how this shit happens all the time.
I like that answering machine. I've always wanted to like just change my answering machine to something completely different. And if I did, it would be that. But then people would be like, "We didn't call him. We called MJ. Whoops." And then they call somebody else. Like, I don't think enough people would recognize that reference from that movie.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, but I want to.
Nando, sing your song at the beep.
Oh no,
beep.
I want the sound of her saying, "This is MJ, sing your song at the beep," just to be my answering machine, and then. But that would confuse people because it's not that big of a reference. But I wish it was, because that would be fun. Like, yeah, I think that'd be cool. Any other thoughts?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I was trying to go through and think like, what dumb stuff happened, blah, 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 blah. I think we hit everything. Yeah, I did not like this movie. And I mean, if you haven't watched it, watch it, I guess, for Spider-Man completionism.
Yeah.
You know, just in case Topher Grace comes back as other Venom. Like, I don't know. I
think there's a good chance Sandman's showing up in No Way Home.
Oh, boy.
I feel like we've seen some kind of sand in some of the shots. But also, if any even general plot details, like, I feel like it wouldn't make sense because he's the only Spider-Man villain in the history, in all these movies. Well, that's not true. I guess Vulture does. That, like, ends on good terms with Spider-Man, whereas all the rest of these guys either die or are killed indirectly by Spider-Man. But, like, him and Spider-Man are, like, cool. So you kind of expect him, if anything, to be, like, an ally to Peter Parker, which maybe will happen. But, I mean, even this outfit that Peter Parker wears in the first scene where he's fighting Harry is the same outfit as that Spider-Man is wearing when he in the trailer for No Way Home. So it's like that suit and that tie, like very, very specific. So I don't know. I feel like we might see. I think we'll probably see Sandman. I doubt we'll see. I very much doubt we'll see Franco, but maybe Topher Grace. I don't know. I would like it. I like him as an actor, but he's bad in this, or like he's not a very good Venom.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't make any sense. Like, yeah.
Sandman also has the power of flight, so, you know.
Yeah, he can fly. He can, like, turn into a little gust of sand. And, like, remember that bit where they're at Spider-Man Day and Sandman shows up and it's, like, a big deal? And there was one shot. I remember this. I couldn't remember it in Like, I stitched it kind of together in my head, but Sandman is escaping. He flies through a crowd of people, and you can see a couple of people in Sandman, like, just covered in sand that is moving at the moment.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought in my head, I was like, did he kill those people? And you don't ever see if they are killed, but they don't, like, turn into little skeletons that collapse onto the floor.
Oh, my God.
That would be pretty funny, though, if it was just like... he's like, I'm sorry, I did all these bad things. And then Spider-Man's like, yeah, and you don't even know about all the other people you've indirectly murdered. Whenever you fly through people, they all die. And he's, wait a second, what? And he's like, yeah, their lungs fill with sand and they die. Oh, no, I've killed 150 people. But, yeah, that scene where Spider-Man punches him and his hand goes right through. Did you know that was actually a one-armed boxer? That's some fun Spider-Man trivia for you.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they got a one-armed boxer, and they had him put a Spider-Man outfit on with the arm, like not one arm, like his arm goes to his like elbow. So when he's like punching through him, it's all practical except for the fake arm that actually doesn't go through him. But like, yeah.
Oh wow.
That's one thing that I remember hearing when the movie came out. That's the only
crazy factoid.
It's a weird one. I feel like there's a lot of weird stuff in this movie. Remember when J. Jonah Jameson buys the camera from that little girl?
Oh yeah,
that's fun. How many times do you think? At what point do you think people are going to figure out what Mary Jane's deal is? Not Spider-Man specifically, but like this is the second high-profile Mary Jane kidnapping we've had in this city, and I don't know if people know what happened with Dr. Octopus, but like he did pick her up and just take her, so I feel like it's probably a little clear.
Yeah, like she's dating Spider-Man.
Or she is Spider-Man. Like, not like she is Spider-Man. Yeah, I guess she can't be Spider-Man, but she's definitely part of the Spider-Man organization.
Yeah. Along with Peter Parker, who's the only person who claims to know Spider-Man. It's like,
yeah,
my best friend.
Yeah, I really do like the superhero movie from like 2008 with, speaking of terrible people, Drake Bell. But it has a bit where he's selling his pictures to the Daily Bugle and they're selfies. And he's like... The guy's like, it's almost like you are the Dragonfly. And it is like some of the pictures that he gives J. Jonah Jameson are like, where did you take this from? A helicopter? How did you get this picture of Spider-Man? But
it's like, I zoomed so much, sir.
Yeah, it's a really good lens. And also I can fly. I am the Green Goblin. Don't tell anybody, otherwise the pictures go away. His lips are sealed. Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah.
Venom, man.
Venom indeed.
Do you think this movie would... Here's a question. Do you think this movie would have been better if the Eddie Brock from the Venom movie showed up and not Topher Grace? If it was just like Tom Hardy?
Yeah, if just unprompted he comes up, it would have been the best movie ever.
Like if he was the Venom guy and it was just like this weird fucking... I don't even remember what the character of Venom is like because he's got it in like the Eddie Brock in Venom, but it's very like... Oh, hey, I'm just the guy. I'm just the reporter trying to ask some questions. Like, he would have fit right into these movies.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have made any sense. Although they do need some people to write stories at that newspaper. They have 2 photographers we've met. No writers. A lot of editors. But, yeah, it's a great movie. Let's see. DJ, do you have anything to recommend to the fine people?
Yeah, I totally have something to recommend
to the fine people. Let's get to our classic
people.
segment. All right. What do you got?
So... I talked Deathloop last week, right? I was like, oh my god, I love it so much. I still love it so much. In case anybody was wondering, it's such a good game. I've been playing a lot of it, so I definitely have something to recommend. Okay, all right, like super obvious one: Star Wars Visions, amazing. That's like feels like a very obvious recommendation. Like I'm not breaking any ground there. I would say, this is my opinion, if you watch it, I would turn on English subtitles, or I guess whatever language you read in is, and put on Japanese audio. I feel like that's the best way to experience these. I just, like 99% of anime I watch, I just watch in Japanese, because I prefer the subbed over the dubbed. Subtitled versus, like, English dub over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like loving Star Wars Visions. There's a game that I played recently. We love our game Rex here. This is like a think it's like a 1 to 4 player game, but it's called Fort. It's from the makers of Letter Games, who make Root and a couple other like small indie games. But this game's a deck building game. But what's interesting is the deck pieces that like you use to build the deck to like build your engine, some parts could be like taken by other players if you don't play those cards. So the game like really incentivizes you to like get certain cards so you can always play them on your turn, because if you don't play a card on your turn, another player could steal it from you. And it's like a really interesting mechanic, because like usually in like a deck building game, you don't want to like make your deck fat, because if you're drawing cards on your turn, you can't use them.
Right.
It's like, oh my god, I wasted my turn. But like you could have a good card that if you don't play it, someone else could take that card from you. And like you can't always play every card because there's like you only have so many actions. So you really have to like think and synergize, and like your deck becomes a puzzle that you have to build. And I really like it. And like the premise of the game is it's kind of like Codename Kids Next Door kind of feel, where you're like a kid and you're trying to build the best fort, and you're recruiting like other kids and other like, you know, like glue and backpacks and other like kid stuff to make like the best fort. That's like the flavor of the game. So it's good, right? It's got like a fun flavor, and it's got like really good mechanics to it. So yeah, it's called Fort. It's like cheap. It's like $30. I've never played a 2-player. I've done 3 and 4. I don't know if like, because sometimes those deck building games are pretty limited from a 2-player perspective. But I've played it in groups, and I really, really like it. It's also like pretty quick. You get like a game, like 30 minutes, you're in, you're out. And like if everyone knows what's going on, it's like even quicker, which is nice. So like if you have a group of people, or like just even like a set people you play with, like, because I have like a couple people where it's like, want to play a game of Fort real quick, because you get it done pretty quickly if you know what you're doing, and I find it to be a pretty fun experience. I feel like there was something else that I'm forgetting, but probably not, because I really have been playing a stupid amount of Deathloop. I think it's Deathloop might be my game of the year. I think it's that good. Yeah,
that's probably true. I'm trying to think of what else is going to come out this year. Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Yeah, like everything got pushed to 22.
Yeah.
So there's actually been like a weird year for video games. 22 is like stacked. Like 22's. We start the year with Elden Ring. You're going to lose me to Elden Ring.
Whenever you say, I'll believe it when I see it.
You're great.
I feel like there was probably something that was announced today at the Nintendo thing, but I didn't see anything. I don't know what they did.
Was there a Treehouse?
Oh yeah, there was a whole like direct, like they did all the. There's a new Kirby 3D game.
Oh my god, I am just.
That's where the Mario thing came from.
Oh, dude, I am not on the pulse at all.
Splatoon 3.
Oh wow.
Return to the Mammalians. Oh, so like mammals.
Dude, Animal Crossing. Oh man.
Yeah, new Animal Crossing.
Yeah. What? Oh shit.
So I don't know but I don't know which ones of those are coming this year.
Bayonetta 3. Oh my god. Chocobo Grand Prix.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Let's fucking go.
So there you go. Maybe one of those will come out this year. Probably not though, because we probably know about it already. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's all I got, Nando. Do you have any recs for the crowd?
Oh, so many. I got a couple.
So many recs.
I will recommend. Oh, but I did want to ask: are you going to get that Kena game, Kena and the Bridge of Sprites or Spirits? It's like a PS5 game. That? It kind of looks like. It looks a little bit like whatchamacallit. What's that?
Breath of the Wild?
Well, it does look a little bit like Breath of the Wild. It reminds me of that movie. She looks like the girl from like Avatar. It's like Korra, kind of, right? I don't know.
I mean, is it good?
I don't know. It's new though. It's a PS5 game, so probably great. You know.
I mean, not all of them are great.
That's a good point.
I mean, I'm like way too bogged down in other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I don't know.
I don't know. I was just wondering because I did see a thing for it today, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't know anyone that could even play this.
The elite.
Yeah, right. I recommend. I got a couple things to recommend. First one, comics. I was reading. I reread Hawkeye, the My Life as a Weapon, Matt Fraction. Purple circles and triangles, all that stuff. It's great. I read it back when it came out, but I wanted to give it another look because it's very like it's not segmented because the stories all come together and they're all kind of one story, but there's a lot of little diversions where you're like, and then this character goes and does this thing, and this is a flashback to this guy. But it's great, one of the best comics. Everyone should read it. I also started a series called Strange Academy, which is fun. It's new. It's still going, but it's a story about Doctor Strange opens a magic school for a bunch of random kind of magic users. There's some Asgardians, there's some people, there's other stuff. And he's like, you're 10, you don't know how to do magic, you're going to destroy the whole planet, so you should probably learn. So it's like a little school, and it's taught by, like, its headmaster, I think, is like Brother Voodoo. It takes place in New Orleans, and then it's got, like, Scarlet Witch and Magic and Damien Hellstrom and all those guys show up. So it seems fun. So far, I'm into it. I will say my favorite new thing of this week is a show. I wonder if you've heard of it, DJ, called Squid Game. Have you heard of Squid Game?
I saw it on my Netflix thing, but I haven't watched it. What is it?
So I believe it's Korean. I don't want to look up anything about this because I don't want to be spoiled by it because all of the episodes are out. And I don't even know if there's a second season or whatever. But I think it must be because there's characters talking about Korea and China but not being in China. So I'm like, that must mean they're in Korea, I think. Okay. It doesn't really matter. It's a series on Netflix. I don't know if it was produced by Netflix or bought or whatever. It's about it centers around one down on his luck guy who's kind of a shithead. He's got a bad relationship with his daughter. Not bad relationship with his daughter. Like, he's a screw up. So he's a divorced dad, and he's like got a heart of gold kind of, but he's also a gambling addict, and he lies to everybody and stuff. He gets an invitation in the beginning of this show, and there's, I think, 10 episodes. So I'm only describing what is really the beginning of episode 1. And he's super in debt. So he gets an invitation at the beginning of the show from a mysterious man who's like, hey, let's play a game. And he plays like a game that's something that's like effectively, I don't know, like hopscotch kind of or something. And the guy like is like, okay. And then that guy's like, also, here's a card. If you want to play more games, call this number and they'll tell you where to meet me. And that guy is apparently the recruiter for what is kind of a battle royale. It's more organized than that, and it's more focused on like playing actual games. But the idea is there's this big kind of set of, I believe, 6 games that are organized by somebody, and they're kind of silly. They seem silly, but also if you lose, you die. But if you win, you get millions and millions of dollars or whatever it is in Korea. So it's pretty cool. I am 3 episodes in, and I really enjoy it. I do kind of wish it was more. There is something that happens in the second episode. Like, it feels kind of like Battle Royale if very quickly we started, all the characters got ideas that you probably shouldn't get until the second or third act. Like, I wish there was just a little more actual gaming going on in the beginning before there was lots of strategy and stuff. But overall, it's pretty cool. It's got subtitles. I'm sure it is dubbed. I heard not great things about the dub, but I don't know too much about it. So I don't know if it's a bad dub or people are just anti-dub in general. But I watched the subtitled version. It's pretty fun, and it's very mysterious, and I am enjoying it. I did start on Netflix the first episode of this 3rd season of The Circle, but I hate all of them.
I know,
so I'm
it's
having
so
a hard
upsetting.
time. I wanted to like that one guy. I don't even know what his deal is. I think he's the guy that's pretending to be his friend who's a girl or something. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
And he seems. I want to say he's from New York, but I might just be imagining that.
Something, yeah.
But I don't yet, and I definitely don't like any of the rest of them. Here's my thing with this season that I've noticed. They all feel like they're really putting on. Like, it's like, oh my God, a couch in my room. They gave me a couch. And then like, oh, I'm going to find a profile picture that really shows off about me and my personality. Like, the second person they're introduced to, for people that haven't watched the show, obviously you have, is a older woman from the South, right? And I'm like, when I see her, I'm like, oh, that's something. Like, that's like an interesting like person to throw into this, because considering who usually wins and how they usually play it, this should be a breath of fresh air, right? But then she's like, I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Can we get somebody who's not something? Can one of them just be a guy? You know,
Yeah.
like not like a guy, but just like I don't know,
A person.
Yeah, not an actor. But yeah, so that part of it kind of lost me.
I think where the circle has failed is that they forgot to realize like what is good, and like they just need to get like genuine people. So if you look at the first season, Sammy, Joey, Shubham, just like 3 like regular people. They were real the whole time, and yeah, like they're so great. Like second season, Chloe was great because that's just her. Like, she's crazy, but that's like fucking her. She's a crazy person. And there's just no one on this season so far who is like that. There's like one person who's like kind of, I'm like, oh, I think this is them. But I think the problem is like, I think once you have the first season of the show, you can't just cast like people. Like Joey, Shubham, and Sammy were all just like people.
Yeah.
And they all hit like all different spots of like, you know, different like backgrounds and experiences and like the whole dynamic, right? It's not just like white guy. Like they were fucking awesome.
Yeah, I feel like at a certain point, a show like this has to feel the weight of its own success and kind of there's got to be a moment like it seems like there has been where all the people are like like everybody on the show is auditioning to be in cameos. Like I just like. I'm assuming this is probably something that happens on The Bachelor, but at least with The Bachelor, there's that, like, is this person really looking for love or whatever? And I feel like they all get in the chat room with each other, and they're all like, oh, he seems so genuine. He's fun. And it's just like, none of you are genuine, which is fine in a show like this, but you all can't tell me that you are because I know what's going on. Like, I feel like with last, I don't know. I have thoughts. I have to watch maybe one more episode to really get a sense for it, but I just feel like these people all know there's a camera and they're constantly playing to it, and it's maybe a little bit too much.
And that's where I think where the other, and they're all like dating reality shows, but at least like, okay, so Too Hot to Handle. Oh, good, you've casted sex monsters to just, like, watch them fall apart. Great, I'm all there for that. Even, like, F-Boy Island. Oh, either, like, whatever, they're going to do the looking for love thing and, like, play into it, or they're monsters, right? Like, some of the guys you saw, like, I love that they showed the audition tapes for some of the F-Boys. It's like, oh, my God, these are, like, real people.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? But, like, at least then you saw, like, behind the curtain, like, that's them. And it's like, wow, you know, the guy who was like, you need your girlfriend, and then I got your backup, and your backup to your backup, and your backup to your backup to your backup. Like, you're like saying these things to like people, like someone's gonna see it. But at least it feels like more organic and genuine than The Circle, which now seems like a complete and total facade, which I guess is good for a catfishing based reality show. But I think it's gotten to the point where everyone should catfish.
Yeah.
Like, it should be a season where none of them play as themselves. Like, every single person is a catfish. Because that's the only way for this show to, like, get good.
Well, and, like, it's not like they're not catfishing. Like,
it's true.
They're all being fake anyway, and like trying to be extra friendly, which is like, I think what I want from The Circle season 4 is I want them to just, I want them to do a Joe Millionaire or Joe Schmo show or whatever. That was the one. And everybody is an actor but one person. There's one person in a hotel room who thinks they're doing a circle, and everyone else is just trying to drive them insane or something. Because I don't think the show is sustainable as it is. Yeah, and I feel like with that scenario, you could actually kind of, like, they would never see the people. So, you could do whatever. But not even, like, drive them crazy, but just, like, yeah, I guess it would be, like, you're trying to gaslight them or something. Into thinking that, like, they are, I don't know how you do it, but you need something like that. Otherwise,
it's better than what they have now. What they have now is not working. You're right. It's like they're like one season, we're like, oh my God, everyone loves this. And now it's like, it's kind of falling really flat.
Yeah. And yeah, I feel like there needs to be some radical shift in the way The Circle works to get a more genuine performance out of someone in The Circle. And, I don't know what it would be except for some sort of, I don't know. I'd have to figure it out.
You have to cast better. There are ways,
that's true.
You have to just find a way to cast better. If you find someone who's but they know what they're doing. The Ava chick, she's Instagram famous. They purposely put an
that's
Instagram
true.
famous person in this show, and her sister. I
hate them.
I don't want to be super rude, but she needs to just walk until she hits ocean and keep going.
Yeah, there's no that also as a gimmick for that character. I'm like, who cares? Oh, I've got my sister. It's not like your mom. It's just another person. That's not interesting.
It's someone who wants to become famous off of your fame.
It'd be interesting to see just this Ava person try to navigate it and kind of suck at it. That's the thing. I feel like anything that makes these guys better at it is bad. I want to see them all stink. I want more games.
Full hand.
I want more games where the catfishers are, outed maybe, or just more sneaky people, more opportunities for people to be themselves. And maybe this is asking a lot of a show I've only seen one episode of, so who knows, maybe those two show up. But I feel like just the balance needs to be shifted in some way. I don't know how. But.
Nah, you're dead on though. I can tell you, even being further in, but you're dead on. It's a shame, but
yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, there's other good things to watch, like Squid Game. So I watched that instead. That's on Netflix too. And also, you know what else?
Too.
Yeah, Netflix. Yeah, you don't have Netflix too? Oh my god, you gotta get Netflix too. I also watched Why the Last Man this week. Speaking of things I forgot to recommend.
Okay.
They have the show of that, and it's pretty good.
Okay.
4 episodes out on FX now. Maybe I'll wreck it next week more fully, but so far I'm kind of digging it. Although apocalypse shows are all the same, and that part of it I don't love. But they just always do all the same things. There's an episode of Why the Last Man that is so similar to Sweet Tooth, and I'm like, is this just because this is what you do? You have to have a scene where they go to a market, and you have to have a scene where so I don't know. Maybe it's just not my kind of fiction, but where was I going with this? But yeah, so there's that. There's Squid Game. Doom Patrol's back today. So there's all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
People could watch that instead. I don't know. Next week, what are we doing next week?
Are we doing Dear Evan Hansen or no?
I'll have to talk to Diggins about it. The answer for me is maybe. I don't know if it's going to be interesting enough.
Yeah,
it might make more sense to do Dune or to do a James Bond. However, I watched part of Dune 1, the original one, and it's so boring. It's tough.
Okay.
But it does have Patrick Stewart. Yeah, maybe Spectre. Okay. Spectre's important because I feel like there will be a lot of continuity in this movie.
We can make Diggins do his Christoph Waltz the entire time.
Yeah.
I'm the architect of all your pain.
Yeah, because this is the one he is in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk to Diggins. Do you have anything to plug, DJ?
Just the usual. Check out Roses and Rejections podcast on the Pop Break Network, and we are covering The Circle, and we're covering the final few episodes of Bachelor in Paradise, ramping up for Michelle's season of The Bachelorette.
Oh my God, Michelle's going on The Bachelorette! Congratulations!
I know, it's very exciting.
Big for her, you know.
Yeah.
So that sucks for you, but I mean, this is a big opportunity for Michelle.
Look, we're gonna get a lot of money, so it's totally fine.
Yeah, you're gonna be Instagram famous, just like all the Circle people. It's gonna be great.
Hey.
And then you get a season of DJ in Paradise or whatever, you know?
Yes.
That'd be really funny. Has there ever been a Bachelor where someone goes on and one of the guys is the fiance or something, and it's just, or not the fiance, but you know what I mean? And it's just you have to win or you don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not exactly that, but there has been some chicanery where it's wait, were you two dating and came for a free vacation? Shit like that. So, yeah.
See, I want that, but that's known. And it's she is dating him, and we have 10 guys that are just trying to weasel their way in and edge him out, make him look like a doofus or something.
Yeah.
That's our high stakes. Yeah, what was I going to say? Oh, I have a video that's probably going to go out pretty soon about the 7th episode of What If that I think is pretty good. And why I think it is good, because my last video was about why I don't like the show, and I wanted to say a nice thing. Because I do think, genuinely, I think the 7th episode was interesting. Have you watched it yet?
I'm so behind.
Okay.
Behind.
Yeah, then, the 7th one is good. Some of the other ones are good, too, and everybody's got different opinions, so, they're... give them a watch. I don't know. They're almost worth it.
Once I get through Visions, I will get to
Yeah. You gotta watch Visions, then you gotta watch WandaVisions, and then you have to watch Star Wars Wanda, and then Star Wars WandaVision, and that's all comes together. And then, and then check out What If, or don't. It's fine. Because Doom Patrol's out, and that's probably better. That's the best. Yeah. So yeah, until next week, I am Nando. Oh, and people were like, "Hey, I didn't know you pre-recorded." Did you see that? A couple of people were like, "You pre-record the outros?" It's like, no, we're just messing with you. But until next week, I'm Nando Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Woo.